Hey, there we go. Sound check, sound check. If anybody's watching, can you let me know if you can hear my mic? Fantastic. All right, we'll give everybody a couple minutes to log on. Those of you who can hear me know that you're probably also gonna hear a lot of my new little guy, because he is sitting right next to me and he has decided that it's not a good time to go to sleep. So inevitably there's going to be lots of little squeaky noises and maybe some screaming. So I'll try to keep the screaming away from the mic, but I can't guarantee things. And obviously, I'm trying to be a good dad, especially while I'm publicly exposed like this. So I will definitely walk away from the computer to take care of him if he gets real bad. So there might be unplanned pauses. I won't end the stream or plan on like restarting it or anything. I'll just literally just be like, be right back, walk away for God knows how long until he calms down. So I anticipate that. All right, hope you guys are ready to see all sorts of bugs, because I'm sure there are plenty, because we did a pretty big overhaul with that last patch and already hotfixed twice, but I know there are more things. VX and Phil have already reported a few things to me, and I haven't even looked at the forums. I haven't had again since launch day, just because I haven't had the haven't had the cojones to do it. I'm afraid of how many posts you guys have put up with the problems, but we got a patch coming next week, so we'll get them resolved. Yeah, Choo Choo, I'm gonna try. Okay, so here's the thing, guys. I am not a streamer. I am terrible at it. I have very bad attention span. Like, so when I have messages popping up on my screen, it just like I completely get distracted from what I'm doing in the game, and I'll end up just standing still the whole time. And if I'm focused on the game, I completely ignore the chat. So I'll try. I'll probably what I think I'm gonna do is the plan is to go through and organize all of my outposts and vassals and get all my meters fixed. That's my plan. Once I do that, I don't want to keep going, because I want to save all the fun stuff. Like, well, I guess, yeah, this stream is going to be mostly me showing you guys how to do the mechanics. So if you're playing with your saves and you want to know how to get all the meters full, you'll be able to just kind of emulate what I'm doing. And I'll talk through some of the mechanics. And then once we've got everything squared away, I don't want to do any more story content or raiding. I want to save that stuff for the normal Let's Plays, the ones where, you know, we get all that awesome editing done by Luke. So that you guys don't have to watch me die over and over and over again, unless that's part of the story. Sometimes we do that because it's fun, and because I'm bad, and you guys need to see that I'm bad. But after we have everything squared away, not only do I want to take questions, I want to talk to you guys about what you want to see as far as quality of life improvements to all these new systems, because I'm sure some of you have already been playing around with them, and you all play this way more than I do. Like, I only have a few hours a week to actually play, so you'll be able to give me a lot better insight into, you know, what is annoying and not fun and what needs to change, and what stuff do you need reports for, what stuff do you need new tools for, all that type of stuff that makes your day-to-day gameplay life. I definitely want to like chill out and talk about that stuff with y'all. So I will 100% be doing, you know, just stop playing and just focus on questions for a while at some point in the stream. Yeah, the stream should be good now. I fixed my upload speed. I just had to reboot my router and plug in a different Wi-Fi card. Now I'm pretty good, so should have no lag on the stream or anything. Yeah, I'm gonna just walk over there. Still giving people a few more minutes to log on here, and so I can show this stuff off to as many people as possible. So we got a nice hoof to get to Starlight still. The Duke is just staring at me with dead eyes. It's any of you who have children know the look when the kids are first born. They can't really focus on anything. So whenever they're staring at something, it looks like they're staring at nothing. It's very strange. Are you saying you don't want my workshop HUD to be over top of my power armor HUD? Because I'm okay with it. The only reason I actually even popped into my power armor is when I was playing around doing this off camera to make sure everything was in good shape, is I I kept getting attacked, and then I was getting just decimated without my power armor because my character is so horribly built. I have like terrible perk choices and everything, so I need this power armor to survive. Uh-oh. Oh, and this is a problem I still haven't solved. And it's happened to me at least 3 times on in videos where my batteries die. Because I still haven't plugged in my wired controller into this computer. Which we might be solving today, just because if I have to go through 2 sets of batteries in one day, I'm going to be very angry. Run away, Brahmin. It does seem like there may... I don't know if there's a delay for you guys on the stream, like if everything I'm saying is matching what's happening. I know that there's usually a delay if I watch myself on the stream, so that's probably all I'm seeing. All right, getting a healthy number of people in. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for tuning in for this live Let's Play. So the reason I wanted to do this one live is a couple reasons. First of all, I'll be honest, the Duke, the new child, new member of my family, just destroyed my attempt to make a video this week. Like every time I got something good going, you could just hear "Wah!" in the background, and it was like, oh, that's gonna make me look like a great dad if I put that out. So I ended up scrapping all that footage, rolling back the save, and then it occurred to me that most of what I was doing in the episode was just setting up all these meters to be full. I was working on making sure the control meter was full in all of my outposts and vassals. I was moving troops around, changing out plots, and I realized that a lot of you probably sat down with this patch with your existing saves and were overwhelmed by how do you get all these meters under control. So I figure if you watch me do it, it'll be a little less annoying for your own save, so you can see me do that, and then we can talk about from there some improvements to the system, maybe some rebalancing we might need to do. I've already thought of a couple of things which I'll talk about, and then we can get this stuff that's not particularly exciting, like the troop management stuff. I think it's fun, like it's a fun way to make sure the troops matter. Obviously, it's not going to make compelling video content for you guys to watch. So it'll be nice to get this out of the way in one shot, and then I don't have to keep dinking around with it every week in the episodes where we're trying to make something more entertaining. Okay, yeah, even starting out, the meters are rough. The meters are definitely... So I said this during the live stream, is that I balance to the razor's edge. I balance everything so that you have to have the exact right amount of everything in order for it to work. And then I slowly ease up on that. That way, I don't risk making it too easy for people who want to challenge, but I can slowly make it easier for everybody else with options and stuff. So I prefer the defaults to be pretty tight, so you actually have to think your way through it, and then I can loosen it up in patches, and that'll make everybody happy. So first thing I know we need to do, obviously, we have our wages, and I'm going to pseudo assume that you guys watching are following through on kind of what's going on with the new mechanics, but I will, because there's just going to be a lot of me doing things, I have plenty of time to fill dead air, so I can just talk through it all, so I can re-explain it all. So those of you who aren't caught up, don't worry about it, you'll catch on quick enough. But effectively, the new mechanics, the idea is your soldiers now have a purpose more than just running attacks, and you need to maintain a certain level of agricultural, commercial, and industrial plots to supply your army. So that's what we're going to resolve today. So basically, all of your outposts and vassals work together to fill in those meters on the right, so it doesn't really matter where the stuff is coming from. And then on the left, that's the individual outpost, or vassal, and you basically need to get that control, that fist, you need to get that filled up, otherwise you're going to start getting attacked there fairly regularly, and if you get attacked and all of your soldiers die, so all of your warriors and guards die, then you will lose the settlement. So it's important you keep those up, but there are some times where you might want to let it slip a little bit to trigger attacks, which can be like a fun gameplay thing, especially if you're capturing prisoners. Speaking of prisoners, I know that there's a lot of problems with the captive system with like them attacking your guys and everything. I have a solution for that, so that should hopefully be in 4.1.1. So let's start out. I think we're going to start out by doing a little tour of what we got going on here. So I know Abernathy is not a city plan, which means it has no plots in it, so it doesn't require anything to control it, really. All we need to do is send one patrol or one guard, and we'll be fine. So I'm going to send a guard, because the way the guard and warrior system works is if you have no guards or warriors and your control isn't full, then when you get attacked, you just instantly lose control of the outpost. So we don't want that to happen, so I am just going to immediately send a patrol down to Abernathy, and then that should take care of things for that, and we'll probably send a patrol and a guard, so that'll guarantee our control is full, and that we have one guy there in case something goes wrong and we get attacked, that we won't lose it. So Our Grognak chick is gonna patrol over there.
Cocky assholes.
And then let's see, what are you doing? But I actually should check on these people and see which ones are assigned and which ones aren't. So let's do that instead of sending away all my guys who are doing stuff. Why are you working food? We don't want farmers here. All right, well you're going. Let's send you to guard. And those little pop-ups only come up once. Those are just to teach everybody the new mechanics the first time they load this save. So you're gonna go guard Abernathy. So now Abernathy's set. That's all we had to do, and that's because there's no city plan in there, and right now the mechanics are all based around plot counts. Without any plots, you basically generate no resources in the settlement, and so it's very rare that those settlements are ever going to get attacked, so it doesn't take much. Yeah, drink water. I don't want to destroy my voice. I've got a big pitcher of water here and some coffee to keep me fueled, so we should be good there. And we're working on a budget display for the HUD. I don't know what you mean by it. You mean like something that's less intense, like with less stuff going on? Possibly. I'll probably do like a minimalist version that you can like shrink down into a corner somewhere at some point, but I hate Flash. I hate it so much, and it's just like I learn and do it out of necessity because there's really no way to do these mechanics without the HUD. But yeah, I know some people would like a minimalist version that's not so flashy, but the first release version we needed to be flashy because it's just more fun. Mods of the week and stuff. No, I probably won't be doing those. We do have some in the hopper, but Juicehead is actually on a tear right now doing mod stuff. I think he said he's got videos planned for a full week worth of mod things. So hopefully he'll keep us in the know for this week, and then you guys can, and I'll catch you up next week. Let's see here. Okay, so we got Abernathy taken care of. I was just looking for my HUD. That's why I popped back into workshop mode. I forgot that I have it set to hide out of workshop mode. I need to turn that off actually. Uh-oh, and I hear some baby noises. Hold on just a second. All right, so Ten Pines definitely has a city plan, so I think we're just going to pop over there, and we're going to take a look and see what's going on with Ten Pines, because the vassals are the most important ones you go take care of first, because those likely, when you load this patch up for the first time, they're going to have... Why is it not letting me fast travel? Come on. Fast travel, selected location. Okay, apparently my fast travel's broken, so that's fun. I can't even get out of my Pip-Boy. Come on now. No. Okay, let's try something. We're gonna try COC. No, let's do player dot move to player. If you ever get stuck in your Pip-Boy or whatever, that will sometimes help. Player dot move to player will reset your animations usually. Although with my controller turning itself off constantly. Hey, there we go. Okay, we're live. All right, so let's try that again. Let's see if we can fast travel. But I would check out your vassals first and make sure you get their control score filled, because those will be the first ones you lose. Because your outposts probably all have warriors in them, and those can count as defenders against the hostile takeovers. Do I have crashes in my playthrough? Almost never. I have had a couple of crashes in Starlight during some of the attack quests. So there's a couple of quests in the Jammer quest line that are like really intense attacks. They're like way bigger than the normal ones. And during those, I've had a couple of crashes in Starlight only, and that Starlight is just like notoriously unstable. So I don't recommend using that as your main outpost if you're playing through the Jammer quest line. All right, yeah, we might be stopping to install a wired controller on this computer because this wireless one's driving me insane. All right, let's set the daylight. Let's turn this to daylight so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. Set game hour to 11. Of course, every time I do that, I risk, you know what, I might even cheat, put the time scale down, but we risk advancing my clock. So if you watched my live stream, one of the things I mentioned was that you basically have, from the moment you load this patch, you have 14 days to get your situation with control, with the fist meter squared away, or you risk losing a whole bunch of settlements. And so every time I scooch the time forward, that's ticking me a little closer to that. All right, so we're going to do a couple things here. So we need to get our control score up. All right, first I want to turn the... I like having this HUD on all the time. I don't want it only on in workshop mode. I don't know why I changed that. Let's see here. Where's my holotape at? I have a love-hate relationship with these inventory mods because half the time the stuff doesn't get mapped correctly, and then I can't find it when I need to. And then having all these sub-menus, you lose track of it. I don't know. I see why it's such a pain in the butt to have to constantly make all these patches for them and everything. Well, let's see here. Options. HUD options. Oh, yeah. Okay, we're done with this wireless controller. Give me just a second. right, wired controller. Let's see if you're gonna play ball. Workshop mode only off. It is on. It's not on workshop mode only. What's going on here? All right, we'll try turn it on, then turn it back off. I love playing with a controller. I think it's just more relaxing. Like I don't feel like anytime I have a mouse and keyboard in my hand, I feel like I should be working. And a controller is super relaxing to me. I love the smooth movement of the joysticks. Makes me get less nauseous when I play. And now I've been doing it for so long. When I try and go back to mouse and keyboard, I just feel like an idiot. Like I'm so bad. I mean, I'm bad with a controller. Anybody who's watched me do gunplay in this game knows I'm a terrible FPS player. I'm like so much worse with the mouse and keyboards that it's not even worth messing around with. Hold on, bud. Sorry about that. All right. So the thing we're gonna do here, I don't know why the HUD isn't staying up. We might have see it comes up whenever I'm in. This is so weird. It comes up when I'm in the Pip-Boy. I've never seen this before. This seems like one of those wonky things with, it's either probably a mod conflict or it's just HUD framework being HUD framework. HUD framework is unfortunately the crutch we have to rely on for custom HUD pieces without the script extender, and HUD framework's got some quirks to it. So I guess we have to pop open the Pip-Boy for now when we want to check things. So we need to fix our control. So we're 100% going to send a couple of guards over here. So what I like to do is just send enough guards to fill up all the marshal plots. And then if the morale goes way down, then I'll send a few back. So I think we're going to just count our marshal plots here, and we'll go grab a bunch of guards and send them. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Looks like 3. I think there's a 4th one around here. Hey, bud. Looks like 4. So we got 4 marshal plots. So we're going to send 4 guys over. Then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look for any recreational plots here, and I'm going to convert them into something that produces resources instead. So there's probably a tool somewhere, like the what's it called? ACM maintenance software probably does this, but I'm not sure, and I don't want to spend a lot of time in holotapes. But basically to track down all the recreationals, but we're going to turn any recreational and any of the marshals that aren't 1x1s, we're going to turn all those into anything else to start filling up those other meters. So we're going to take this guy, we're going to customize the plot. So this is why the patch before the big one, before the big Outpost change patch, for the phase 2, we added the ability for you to control the plots in the in the vassals, because we knew that you were going to need to be able to take over and start making some of them produce more stuff, so that you could get access to that. Another thing some of you guys might want to do in your vassals that I might end up doing, I'm not sure, but if you didn't go with level 2 or level 3 city plans, you might want to come into your vassals, go into your holotape, and I'll show you where it is. I'm not going to turn it on yet, but I might in the future. If you go into the holotape, there's a section called local settings. So if we go to options, gameplay options, local, this will let you override the settings in the settlement you're standing in right now. And if you turn off the citizen needs requirement, then the vassals can start upgrading their plots over time. And then any of their agricultural, industrial, and commercial, they'll generate additional resources when they level up. So a level 2 and level 3 plot will generate a lot more resources than a level 1 toward those meters on the right there. So that is something worth doing. What's this guy over here? What's this guy going on? What is this? We got an advanced industrial. I think we're going to change that. I guess advanced industrial works. It'll still generate resources. I don't know why no one's assigned to it yet, but we'll let them. They'll probably get assigned to it soon, because as soon as we show up here, all of the marshal plots get unassigned from the locals, so that our guys can move in. So I think that's the only. That was the only recreational. We're just taking a quick peek and see if there are any other interiors we want to swap out. You're a house. Yeah, we're good here. All right, so we're going to go back to Starlight, and we're going to ship. What did we determine? I think, did I say 4 guards? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, 4. So let's go get 4 guards. Send them over. I love sending patrols just because it's fun to see patrols wandering around. Yeah, I'm going to need a lot of everything. I need agricultural plots. I need, what do we see? I need industrial plots. I need commercial. I need a little bit of everything. I'm just going to solve one at a time. It could be. The power armor could definitely be messing with the Conqueror HUD. Usually the way I have it, at least I have this set up for the default HUD, for the workshop HUD, is when you go into power armor, it switches the mode that HUD framework uses, but it might be that I didn't bother. I never thought to set that up for the Conqueror HUD. Could be something like that. I don't know if anybody else can replicate this, where the HUD only opens up inside of your Pip-Boy. Let me know, because I'm not exact. I've never seen this before. But I also don't use power armor when I'm testing, so I might pop out of power armor and see if that changes anything. I just need to keep it handy for any of these raids that start up. Yeah, you might be right, because there it goes. It's back all of a sudden. All right, well, we'll just keep the power armor handy and get ready to go. All right, so let's find guys who aren't doing anything. There's got to be a bunch of... Oh, right away. Found a useless bugger. Come here. All right, we're going to start by setting up a patrol. I really, the whole patch, if all it was patrols, I'd have been happy. I love seeing my guys wandering around, guns out between my Outpost and Vassals. All right, you're going to go patrol. And then this confirms it. Good to go. All right, who else is not working? So this is immediate. This is something I want to do quality of life right away. I want a way for you to see who's assigned just by looking at them, like without having to go back into workshop mode. It's really obnoxious to have to keep doing this, keep popping into workshop mode, and then back out again to change them. I mean, with faster workshop on PC, it's not that bad, but any of you guys on Xbox, I mean, I'm sure it's torture to have to keep popping in and out like that. Or any of you who aren't using the script extender. Hey, we got another lazy guy. All right, so you're going to be our first guard. All right, we're sending you to 10 Pines.
Hell yeah, you gave the Minutemen some fucking payback.
I did. All right, you're clearly working. And I got to get my level lists cleaned up. So many naked people in my settlements.
What the fuck is next? Cats? You seen any of those games?
All right, you're probably working there. All right, you're working. I also have I have visitors turned back on since I fixed that feature. So half of these guys are probably just visiting. Oh, hold on, bud. Okay, I think everybody else has got a job, so we might head off to one of our other... Actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to use a tool that I never use, and I need to. We're going to use ASAM Vision. So we're going to turn this on, and we're going to switch to jobless. I don't care if you're homeless. You guys can sleep on the floor. There we go. Unemployed. Let's see if any of you guys highlight yellow. This is how we can do it. This is... So, see, I already had the solution. I was complaining about a way to see if they've got jobs or not, and I already have it built right into the mod. That's how little I play my own mod. But I think everybody... Oh, there's a nice little bug. Mutant Hound is unassigned, obviously. You don't have a job. Sorry, bud. I think I just saw another hound inside of here that doesn't have a job. Oh, no, that's a... That's not a highlighted hound. That's a giddy up. Nice toy, bud. Okay, cool. So I think we're all squared away in this place, so we're going to move on to our next one. I think Zemonia, I've got just a crazy number of guys up there, too. But let's take our power armor, because inevitably we're going to get attacked. Oh, there's somebody. I saw him in the corner of my eye. Hey, slacker, get over here. Oh, there's some more. Oh, that's Ophelia. And looks like Maul's best friend. Those are both. They also don't have jobs. All right, cool. You are going to go guard duty over at 10 Pines. So that's 2 guards. So I think what we'll do is we'll stop at 10 Pines on the way to Outpost and see if our control needs are met. Because if they are, we'll just call it good enough for now. And we'll move on to the next one. Because I have I don't have that many vassals. That was something else I caught on myself right away when I logged in to check. Is I have been doing so many outposts and almost no vassals, which was really stupid. But that's part of the reason we needed these mechanics, is because there was really no penalty for just building up an army of infinite guys and having all outposts. Like, it really didn't matter. Like, there was no gameplay to the outpost vassals. It was literally, the gameplay was go kill a bunch of settlers, and then it didn't matter after that. Which, yeah, it was fun, but... Wait, what is stop hound discrimination? Oh, hound. Ha! Yeah, that power armor is awesome. That's from... God, I don't even remember the name of the mod. It ended up getting rolled into Raider Overhaul, but it also is a separate mod by itself. If anybody knows what it is off the top of their heads, please share it. I can't remember for the life of me what it's called. Okay, let's see here. So our control needs are good now in 10 Pines, so that's good. So we set up a patrol and 2 guards. Our guards will take a minute to roll in here, and then it might take a day or 2 for the auto-assignment code to realize they're here and then assign them. So next time we come back, they should be assigned to martial plots.
Hey, what are you up to?
All right. Got the little one in one hand. Okay, we're going to try something. We're going to use a bottle with one hand, and we're going to try and move forward with the controller with the other while we make our way to Outpost Ammonia. The tribal power armor, yeah, Raider Chop Shop sounds right. Tribal power armor I do have installed, and that is definitely what I'm going to switch to when I find it. But that is, I'm fairly certain that's just placed in the world one place for you to find, and I want to find it naturally. Like, I don't want to look it up, because that's like some of the last treats in Fallout itself left for me, is actually exploring all these mods, because I've played the base game so many times that I know what I've seen most of it, that I really want to not look up where all the mods added stuff is and just find it naturally. So the tribal power armor, I'm pretty sure, is one of those that I'll be able to stumble upon, and it'll be a nice upgrade. Here we go. Uh-oh. Oh no, cursed radios. Who turned on a radio? I did not authorize this. It's probably going to be buried in this. I have a clipping mess
Ain't no
in
one
here
sad about Coulter.
because I built all of these recreational plots, and then where's that radio coming from? All right, we might have to. I hate that you can't just mute music on the fly. Like, I love the music when I'm not streaming or making YouTube stuff, but then it runs into the little bit of income we generate for all the fun stuff we like to do with Sim Settlements. Okay, there we go. The music, I seem to have lost it. I don't know where it's at, but okay, come here, bud. You are gonna go. Nope, I hear it again. I have no idea where that radio is coming from. Oh, I think I found it.
Damn Nuka-Cola song.
There it is.
In my head again.
Unfortunately,
Sure, we
most of the ones on the
nice
plots you
where
can't
it's
blow
at.
up with
It's not
Boba Shot the
fun,
Jukebox,
it's
which is
up
unfortunate.
close and personal.
All right. Okay, so Zammonia's good as far as control, which I figured it would be. So we need to go to our next vassal. So I've got a couple over here. Let's see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of our unassigned guys and just send them to these two, because I know neither of them are going to have enough. So we're going to just preemptive strike, send those over there so I don't have to keep going back and forth. We'll just split them between the two, and then we'll clean it up later. All right, so let's start with a patrol on each. So you're going to patrol to Grey Garden. And actually, I don't know about the distance. So one of the things I might do, another quality of life thing I might add, is it's hard to tell at a glance if your patrols are close enough to give the full control bonus from your outposts. So I think what I might do is just give a little pop-up prompt that confirms yes or no it did, like if it gave you the full bonus, like if it was close enough or if it was too far away. Because you can set up patrols as far as you want, but in order for them to give their bonus, they have to be within the same distance as you could set up vassals in the vanilla game. But our system tries to make that the case, to limit the vassals. But the thing is, because you can set up as many outposts as you want, like I could set up this outpost, I could set up an outpost at Taffington Boathouse, and then get a vassal here. So now this is a vassal, even though it maybe isn't in range of like Starlight, it's still available as an option for me to choose. So. And there's really no good way to like limit those options again later after the fact. It's only during the vanilla raid system to do it, but we bypass the whole vanilla raid system because it's kind of lame. And by vanilla raid system, I mean the Nuka roll one. Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. I do have that. I have that feature. I forgot about that. See, this is another one of those. I don't play my own mod enough. Let's do that now. It's too late. I'll have to refresh them all to resolve it. But yeah, I should have turned off radios on plots. Did not even think of that. But for anybody else who is in the same boat, if you go to performance, there's a radios. And this also assumes that every add-on pack author actually configured their objects altogether. I don't know that they did. I try to on all of ours. And I know I did on all the original Sim Settlement stuff, but I don't know if I've gotten all the new ones that we've been adding with Conqueror or not. All right, so you are going to go patrol to Slog. All right, guys, this is one of those moments. Baby's been crying too much. I'm going to take a quick couple of minutes. I'll be right back. I swear, if I drank as much light beer as this kid drinks milk, I would just be passed out drunk all the time. All right, so I'm kind of back. You guys are saying that the sound in the game will control the radios, because I was under the impression that this stuff so like I have radio muted right here. I have that all the way down, and I have music all the way down, but the radios still play. So is it effects then? Is it that control the radio? Because if that's the case, that's a bummer. I don't want to turn off all my sound effects. That'll get real boring. Or is it voice maybe? Because I know like Travis is probably on the voice channel, but I don't know about all the actual songs. All right, let's look for some more yellow guys that we can send to guard duty. You look pretty useless. All right, to the slog with you. Now, one of the things that ended up happening with the city plans from ROTC, which are what I'm using a lot of, is we overdid it, like way overdid it with guard posts. And it was because we weren't really focused on necessarily the needs of the settlements. We were really just focused on like what looks cool. And so we ended up overdoing it on the martial plots. Now, with the 2x2s in the interiors, it's no problem because you can just swap them to something else. But unfortunately, with the 1x1s, we haven't really gotten into the realm of making other plot types 1x1. It might happen in the future, but I just don't know like how useful those would be. But it'll be probably one of those things if we ever do it. It'll be like we did with the 2x2 marshals, where we didn't support it on the Sim Settlements team with designs initially when it came out. We're just like, you know what? I'm sure you add-on back authors are more creative than we are. Go nuts.
Mason, tarred, and feathered the last
You know, come up with something cool to do with these, and so be it. So that might be what we do here. Can't get through because of this bench. All right, we're gonna do some console foo here. There we go. All right, you're gonna go to. Oh, hold on, bud. All right, you're gonna go to the. Oh, actually, I think I already sent somebody to the slog, so you're gonna go to green top. Close menu. So with the raider thing with Conqueror, so Conqueror is definitely heavy raider content, but there's plenty to do without raiders. So like the pre-build settlements, so you can pre-build your cities for exploration. That has nothing to do with the raiders. All of the new plot types by default are not a raider skin. We just included a raider skin with them. So there's, I think, probably 10 or 12 new plot buildings you get from Conqueror now. And then obviously the attack system, you can grab a faction pack if you want to convert, you know, if you want to play as Minutemen or Brotherhood or whatever. There's a faction pack for most of the factions. I know that there are some issues with the Liberator right now, and I've been working with some of the creators of the faction packs to get a list of all those bugs so I can get them knocked out for y'all. But yeah, there's plenty to do with Conqueror without it. But if you're talking about quest content, no, quest content is all Raider. It's all bad guy. We're trying to fill that void of, you know, players who want to walk up to Preston and shoot him in the face. That's the quest content. Yeah, you can definitely kill Jammer. In fact, we've already been talking about we want to introduce a way later in the quest line to kill Jammer. So if you get tired of him, you can turn on him. Right now, the only way you could do that currently is either use a console command, or if you had the execute perk from killing Preston, you could execute Jammer. But actually, and I might have even prevented that just because I think people were reporting that they were doing it accidentally in bug reports, that I just disabled him being able to be executed for now. But we definitely are going to introduce a way for you guys to execute Jammer later in some fashion. So if you want to break free of his quest line later, like if you want to, I know a lot of people have said they want to be able to roleplay switching sides, because that feels real natural in Fallout 4. Like as you meet different factions, you know, maybe you roleplay that you met the Brotherhood and it changed your mind, and now you want to you want to go white hat, and like we want to give you guys that option. Not that we want to encourage you all to be killing Jammer since we're putting all the work into his quest line, but you know, if that's what you guys want to do, go for it. All right, let's head over to Green Top and see what our control score's like. I will say for you guys on Xbox, a couple people have talked about this. There is a set of city plans that are, and I never remember the name of them, but there's something like Simple City Plans, something like that, and it's a whole series, and they are super duper lightweight. And if you're gonna use the pre-build, I would, at least for your first time doing it, I would recommend you do that, just because that will make sure that you have a stable game while you're wandering around. Because if any of your settlements ends up with way too much over the build limit, Xbox just buckles. It just can't hang. And so until you learn what the limits of your system are, you should probably like tone it down a bit and keep it minimal. All right, let's set game over to 11 again. Hey, there we go, nice and bright. All right. All right, and I can see right in front of us we got a recreation plot. Okay, we need a bunch more control here. That meter has barely moved at all, even though we sent a guard and a patrol. Oh, great, more naked settlers. Thanks, folks. Appreciate you. All right, let's change this guy. So we're going to change out recreational plots and martial plots when we find them, just to get more production going. So this is one of the things, I don't know if I'm even, just because of how my Outpost to Vassal ratio is, I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to get my meters on the right sorted this without doing a couple more attacks. But we might be able to. I might have to just like get rid of my happiness spamming plots, which is what I ended up doing in Starlight, and actually produce some production inside of that settlement. All right, we're going to do commercial. We'll just try and get, at least maybe we can get wages resort. We can get that resolved. Let's see here. Oh, and this bug just keeps coming back. I don't know what I keep doing, but this building plan is from some settlements, and for some reason, one of the levels, all of the objects are like floating way out in front of the building. I gotta get that fixed permanently. I don't know what's causing it. All right, let's see here. Lots of recreation or residential plots. Those are all good. Let's see here. I'm pretty sure this one is like all agricultural, martial, and residential. I don't think we have a ton of the other types, because this is actually during the development of Rise of the Commonwealth. The plot types weren't done before we started doing the city plans. So like half of the city plans were all designed before interior plots existed and before martial plots existed. Like they were just way far ahead of where the actual code was, and so like a lot of them are lacking certain plot types just because we just didn't have them done yet. All right. Okay, little guy. There we go. All right, so they're instantly building a commercial plot, so that's working. That's good. I was a little concerned that some of my auto assignment code wasn't working, because I keep finding these industrial plots that are just stuck. So I think I'm gonna switch these over. This is something I saw earlier when I came in before I decided to do this live stream like, and I noticed all the advanced industrial plots were just stuck. So I think we're gonna just swap them out. Oh, that was an impressive burp, little buddy.
They taste like shit.
Oh, there's another one. All right, there we go. Another commercial plot. So our wages should slowly start ticking up here. And we're going to need, let's see, I did a patrol and I did a guard. I think we're going to need at least 3 more guards, but I think we have 1 million martial plots here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6 martial plots here. Okay, so let's go on to the next. All right, I'm gonna just write that down. So I got 6 martial plots I can fill in Green Top. There we go. Okay, now let's go check out this place and see what's going on there. Yeah, so one of the things with the cognac, one of the ways you can do, there's a couple different ways you can do it. So, and this is one of the ones where it will be hard to show until I do another playthrough. But one of the ways you can make it easier on yourself is to convert most of your warriors into workers, at the beginning and just build all that stuff in your outpost until you have a big army, and then start conquering. Like, there's different ways you can go, and that is one of the reasons that I like doing that Razor's Edge balancing, is because it gives you kind of that RTS feel in the early game, which you know, and then obviously the other way to do it is just turn off the needs for a while until you feel like you got enough space. But yeah, turning your guys into workers is a great way to generate a bunch of resources early on.
There ain't no heating in this place. Did you rub your thighs together till it turned into bacon?
All right, so let's see here. We need, once again, oh, we're back in power armor. I was like, why did the thing go away again? You guys already showed me why. Because it's power armor. So let's take that. Oops, I just grabbed all my power armor pieces. That was really dumb. There we go. All right, so let's see if our HUD is going to decide to play ball here or not. I've noticed another thing with the HUD, and this is on my bug list, is that sometimes when you fast travel in, it doesn't seem to come up, and I don't know why that is. Because sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. But we'll try running in and out and see if that sorts it out. All right, HUD's not coming up, so we might have to pop into our... Let's see, well, first we're going to just change these ones over while we're here, but let's try playing with the holotape. Changes anything? Hey, bud. Alright, let's try to turn this off and then back on. We'll see what we do. Chuju, yeah, the stuff with... So there's a problem. There's been a couple of mods who've attempted to do this, to let settlers... Hey, there's the HUD. Let settlers use power armor, and it just has so many problems. There's just a bunch of, like, weird things going on with power armor. I think I can solve it programmatically, but it's just one of those things I haven't had a chance to fully tackle yet. But once I do, then yeah, we absolutely, like, that's something you likely... I imagine it'll be one of the new plot types. It'll be like a martial plot that's like a power armory or something like that, or we've also considered doing some of the specialty plots for some of the other types. Like we almost made the Battlefield Scavengers industrial, just because that feels kind of industrial like, but we were trying to encourage the plots that generate resources to only be in your vassals, so that was the reason we opted on that. But we'll see how it goes. But I definitely want to introduce some way to get power armored soldiers. That just seems too perfect to not have. But all right, guys, I need to take a couple minutes here. The kid needs a little more attention than I've been giving him, so I'll be back in just a couple minutes, and you guys can stare at my farmers as they go to work on these crops.
Shit and a half, but he says good bed.
A good bed. Here? Ugh. Yeah, right. I'd be better off lying on a rag road.
Oh, at least there's good things.
He didn't miss it.
A good bed? Here?
Okay.
Yeah, right.
There.
I'd be better
Fucking
off lying on
move.
a rag road.
That's what a simp is. Only a simp would refuse my cattle.
Jesus, Mary. You wanna be next?
Welcome to my new ASMR stream, where you just watch guys calmly dig through fields of corn. Do you guys think there's any desire for a Sean overhaul mod? And I'll just record a bunch of new baby sounds for him, because I got plenty. Okay, I think I got him calm. But so for those of you just tuning in, or because I'm sure a bunch of people left out of boredom, I do have to take dad duty first. So anytime the kid needs me, I just walk away, and you get to hear baby noises in the background. So what we're trying to do here is get all of our meters squared away. So if we definitely need to send. Oh, and it still says Green Top Nursery. Okay, so I think we're gonna walk. We're gonna leave and come back now that we got our HUD showing up, because we need this to show the correct settlement, or we're going to have all sorts of problems. I might also use a console command to do it, and that I'm sure some of you guys would like to have that, because it would be useful to force the HUD to update. So if this doesn't work, walking outside and back in, I'll just do it with the console command. Hey, there goes, it worked. Okay, oh, and we do have control here, so it's really just green. So green top's the one that's being a real pain in the butt. But for those of you guys who do want that console command, I'll probably just type it up here because I'm sure I'm going to need it, and you guys probably want it. But if your HUD ever gets stuck, you can do this. Call. It's CQF call quest function. KGCONQ for KG like Conqueror, and then it's resource manager. Oh, hey bud. Yeah, I know. And then it's force update HUD. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so that's the console command. You guys can use if you wanted, if you could use it with like a hotkey manager or something, and then give yourself a hotkey to force the HUD update. Because occasionally, again, this is I know this is a real problem on Xbox and anybody not using F4SE. So if you haven't heard this before, the way HUD framework works is it basically sends those messages you see in the corner, like in Sim Settlements, if a plot upgrades, you get the little notice up in the corner. HUD framework uses that same system. It just hides the messages really quickly, so you never see them. And so that system can only display so many messages per second without script extender. So if you don't have script extender, which would be everybody on Xbox and some PC players, then those messages get really delayed. And so you can only update the HUD, once every second or something like that. And so if you have a bunch of HUD framework modules, then the commands can get all queued up real bad. All right, bud. You chill? We cool? Fortunately, you guys have all this wonderful background dialogue to keep you entertained. The soundscape has some weird ass stuff going on in it. I still haven't even heard it all. I still hear new stuff in it all the time. That was something Del. Whoa, bud. He just leaped off of my shoulder. Oh man, I didn't know babies could do this because my first kid never did, but this kid is spring-loaded. Sometimes one of his limbs will just fling out and fire him like just like off a table, or in that case, off of my chest and into the microphone. Anyway, but yeah, Del Chupanabri put together this soundscape. He teamed up with some voice actors and a writer, and like just handed it all to me one day. And I never listened to it. I just was like, all right, I'm gonna just enjoy it in the moment when I experience it. And it's really funny to watch other people stream and hear it, because a lot of them I've seen have no idea that that's part of the mod, and they're just hearing weird conversations off from the corners. Okay, I think we might be. I don't want to jump the gun though. We got this. The Duke needs a lot of attention. He's very young. He's only been out here a couple of weeks. All right, so the slog is good on control, so we don't need to send any more guys. So really, all I'm doing in the slog here is looking for plots that I can change into producers instead of things like. We don't need a million martial plots, especially these ones that aren't even being used. So we're gonna keep changing these over. Let's see, change plot type, commercial. All right, we'll let you get shifted over. I think I already switched to the one recreational that I'm aware of that's here. This place is one of those ones that's heavily, like lots of agricultural and martial, just like the green top is. So, whoa. Guy just fell out of the sky. Another thing I was not expecting from the Duke here that didn't happen with the first kid. When the first kid came, I had warned everybody way back when, if any of you remember, a couple years ago. I had said I'm probably going to be modding a whole lot less. Oh God, I'm getting attacked. All right. We're going to God mode for a second. I had warned everybody I was going to be modding a lot less, and then it turned out I ended up modding way more because basically I couldn't sleep because the kid was screaming all the time, and then that kept us up. But his sleep schedule ended up in such a way that I just like ended up having to absorb it more time to mod. This kid, on the other hand, wants to scream and shout like right during the time I normally mod. So it's been a beast. So this is about the time he likes to stay awake and make lots of noise, and so you guys get to enjoy that, because otherwise I would have to start streaming around midnight my time, and I don't think that would be good for anybody. I don't think that's the good time of night for most of you. All right, I don't know what's going on with my connection speed. Trying to fix it. I am one of those poor saps who's stuck using Comcast, so my connection speed is completely unstable and about 1/4 what I pay for. So that's awesome. Yeah, I've got 70 warriors. That's why I was going way overboard with the way I had my Outpost to Vassal set up and managed. And I haven't been running raids either. I've been like doing story content for so many episodes because part of it was because I wanted to get excuse me, part of it I wanted to get all my happiness fixed in Starlight so that I could have all the benefits of the new plot types. And then after a few weeks of that, then I was like, all right, well, the new mechanics are right around the corner. So at this point, I should just wait for all the new plot types before I start running attacks and stuff. And during all that time, I just kept building up more and more guys. The latest Kinggath Jr., the Duke as we're calling him, is 3 weeks old. He is very, very young.
He asked for 100. And I gave him a bullet.
Is the stream still terrible for you guys? Because on my screen on my YouTube monitor, it's just completely stopped. It's just a spinning thing. Is the quality of the spinning camera improved, or is it still like super low FPS? I apologize, guys. I did not anticipate. Usually, he's like, he needs 10 minutes of my attention, then he naps for 20 minutes, and then I did not think it was going to be, I didn't think it was going to be you guys all sitting around listening to me pat a baby. That was not the intention of this stream. We're going to definitely need some timestamps in the replay of this. Whew. Okay. All right. So I got a moment of calm, usually before the storm here. So let's get back to it. Let's keep looking for more plots we can convert because we need a lot of resources. All right, that's already commercial. Let's check up on the roof. Because this place, this is definitely level 0. There's almost nothing here. All right, so we're good on control here. We're building as many resources as we can. So let's head, and let's see, do I even have any more vassals? This is how ridiculous I got with the vassal to outpost ratio. Don't be like Kinggath. All right, let's go back to Zimonia and send some more guards to Green Top. Get the control under lockdown so we don't lose our places, and then we'll start worrying about resources. Load screens. Yeah, it is. It is fun to keep coming back to the settlements and having them change. But if for these new mechanics, it definitely puts you at an advantage if you took over all level 3 cities, because then you're just generating just boatloads of resources. All right, guys. How many of you are just lazing around here? I think we got to turn ASAM vision back on. Probably I had it on
Killing
already,
beats
but we'll
stealing
just double
any
check.
day. Nothing beats that rush. Always keep your knife
Upgrade.
sharp. No one likes sloppy
Off.
work.
Is this it? Did I hit it enough times? Let's see.
I'm not sure.
But yeah, that
what's
delay
worse,
up in the messages up
wearing
in
a
the corner,
tie or
that's part of
wearing a
what HUD
teddy bear.
framework can be slow, especially on Xbox.
Never did get why Coulter
I
ran
went
through
right
yet to
past
come to
it.
Nuka World.
No, there
I
it
mean,
goes.
he
Fine.
had us.
It's just slow.
Don't need the
Always
rest.
keep your
Okay.
knife
I
sharp.
think you guys are
No
all
one likes
all
sloppy
doing stuff. All right, let's do the nope, missing power. Damn it. All right. Let's game hour to 11 so you guys can see. And then let's hit that again. Upgradable. No. So, rebalancing the city plans has been on our to-do list forever. Not only rebalancing them, but just fixing them. There's a lot of random little weirdo mistakes, like some floating objects that we didn't see, or where we chose
Understanding the
we chose
operator's
building
aim
plans for them.
know how to
So
win.
like one of the things
The
that
other
I get,
ones,
one of the most common
dying
bug
is
reports we
more
get
their strong suit.
is that there are certain plots in some of these
Gotta chase what you wanna
ROTC
catch.
settlements that you can't walk into because the plot is blocking things, and that's even with designer's choice. So what ended up happening is that during development, we at some point went back and rebuilt all of the city plans to add water to them, because when we launched, we didn't have water in half of them in level 0, and not even thinking about the repercussions of that, about what a bad experience that was going to be. It was just a total oversight. And when we redid them, a lot of the people that helped do the rebuild had add-on packs installed, and so all of our designer's choice ended up getting mixed between vanilla stuff from Sim Settlements and from add-on packs. So then a lot of people who didn't have the add-on packs ended up finding building plans that didn't mesh with that particular spot. So it was just ended up being a mess. So basically, like, we had designer's choice all perfect in the launch, and then we screwed it up royally when we patched in the update to add water to all the levels. All right, where were we sending you? Green Top. Sorry, guys, I'm back on daddy duty. Oh, a lot of my guys are using the Nuka World voices, Steam. It's just a matter of I have some guys
got our own
from
chem kitchen.
before we updated and added the custom voices, and my script to switch everybody over to the new voices just didn't work, and I have yet to be able to figure out why that is. And I figured it was one of those things where eventually all of the Nuka voiced guys would just die. So it was like, it wasn't even worth fixing. Like, it didn't work first time. Oh well. All right, guard. You're gonna go to Green Top. All right. Who do we got left here? Anybody else in yellow? I think we might be doing some reassignment here, because we already know, like, basically our needs right there. That's pretty much how they're gonna be. Like the meters on the right there. That's how much stuff we got to come up with. And since we don't have enough vassals, we're gonna have to do it in one of two ways. We have to start converting these plots in the outposts over to production, or we have to go take over more vassals. And I'm not ready to start taking over more vassals yet, so I'm going to see what I can do with our existing stuff. So one of the things I was trying to do with Zimonia is make sure you guys get a chance to see the level 3, and in order to do that, we've got to take this thing up to 90 happiness. Uh-oh, my stream just says it died. Did that happen to all you guys, or was that just... Okay, our happiness is on the rise. All right, here we go. So, let's see. What is going on with my stream? Oh man, that timing. Baby's like crashing out hard right as my internet decides it's gonna puke on me. Yeah, the lag is definitely from me. I got a big red warning up on my YouTube stream that the stream health is miserable. So I'm trying to see what I can do about it here.
I told the guy, we're death bringers. We bring death. It's not that complicated.
It really
Don't know why I
isn't.
bothered. I was gonna kill him anyway.
All right, stream health. Come on. You can do it. I'm checking to make sure I don't have any weird programs running or anything. It doesn't look like it. And yeah, this drives me nuts. Comcast, shaking fist. Get an app called Ping Plotter. Okay, I'll have to try that out. Yeah, the quality is pretty garbage right now. My video output shows that it's super low, but I just checked my upload speeds and it says I have 20 megs, which should be more than enough for the settings I have OBS at. Should be more than enough. Alright, let's see what level we're at in this city plan while we wait for stream health. Let's see here. Somewhere around here I should have a city planner's desk. No, not in there. It's up there. Maybe his Wi-Fi powered. He's sucking up all my bandwidth. Oh, it's okay, bud. Manage that city plan. All right, we're at level 1. Okay, so Zamonia is ready to go to level 2. I just need to get happiness to 80%, so I don't want to mess with that. So I was thinking about swapping out some of the recreational plots here for some other stuff, but at this point, like, I mean, it's just I'm sure we're just a couple of days away from being able to get to get this thing to level 2, because I think that percentage down there, I think I can. I don't know how much time that is. Like, it's been a while since I've been back in Zamonia, so I don't know how much time has passed since I last updated it or upgraded it. Whoa, bud, that was loud. Oh man, this is like worst streaming content ever. It's top 5. Well, I tell you what, guys, during these little downtimes, this is when you can throw out your questions, because I can talk, I just can't use a controller. Alright, if you guys think it's packet loss, you know, if there's anything I can do about it. I don't stream a lot, so I'm not really sure what else I can do. I've got all of my, I checked all of them, make sure none of them are uploading stuff. I turned my phone off. I had reset the router right before I started everything. My connection says it's really good, so I don't know what's going on. I mean, could it be, let's see, I don't think I have any weird background services going on, or I guess I could have a horrible virus. That could definitely be the case. Maybe somebody's using my machine as a botnet. Oh man, I just love the idea of using the animation of the parents holding the baby and do that to Jammer. Jammer's just gotta wander around carrying an infant. Yeah, vassals will recruit new settlers as long as it uses the same rules as the vanilla mechanics. So like if the happiness is decent, it increases the chance that they will recruit. And unfortunately, I don't remember if I can break this or not. It should work off of your, it probably still works off of your charisma, because the way the settlers are recruited by default when you're not running the settlement is it uses the vanilla mechanics, but I could be wrong on that. It could use your options. I really haven't tested enough with that, because it tends to be that you're not killing the settlers and the vassals usually. What games am I looking forward to? I think the same ones that every Bethesda fan is, Outer Worlds and Cyberpunk. Those two I think are gonna suck me right in real fast. I'm using Wi-Fi, but I might run if the baby falls asleep, I will definitely go run a cable. I have a giant cable I can run there in situations like this. Uh-oh, stream dying. Why do the meters change every reload? It's because the game is terrible at returning accurate data. So basically I have Conqueror try and recalculate the data every time you arrive at a new settlement, and it's just not always accurate because the game then will return new bad data. So the data tends to stabilize after you visited all of the settlements, but there's always a chance it's gonna be a little off, but you should be able to eventually get it to stabilize pretty accurately. Yeah, Jammer's dialogue I do need to change. It was like we were trying to keep it super immersive and like make the dialogue choices somewhat match the things your character says, because the player dialogue is limited. But yeah, I need to just make them say, you know, captives, vassal, or outpost, just to make it real clear. Book found? I don't know. A lot of time did I fail to even put it on the list? Sometimes I see your guys' suggestions and I put them on the big list and I just haven't had a chance to go check them out, because I like to look through the mods, look for bug reports, see if there are any conflicts, and I just don't always have time to do that, especially now with the baby. So it could be that I added your suggestion to my list and just haven't gotten around to installing it yet. But if you don't see it on the list either, then I probably just missed it, because I copy everybody's onto my document when I see them. All right, guys, the baby's falling asleep, so that means my internet should tank real hard again right about now. Izarian, I've actually asked Juicehead to be on the podcast, and he's never responded to my messages. I've even asked him through other people. So if you guys want him on the podcast, go spam his comment section and shame him into doing my podcast. I'd love to talk to Juicehead, because he's always been a big supporter of some settlements, and I would love to find out like what it's been like for him, because he kind of, I've been following his channel since he had like 40,000 subscribers. Like, he came out of nowhere and like didn't have a big following, and then all of a sudden he's like one of the major Fallout channels. So I'd love to talk to him about how that ride's been.
If you're wearing a collar, it's because you asked for it. Ain't no
Okay, I think we can get back to it. I heard a little baby snore there. Knock on wood. So let's juggle some things around. So I want to keep. What I want to do here is I want to keep the recreational, because I do want to show off this settlement. I really want to show you guys the full level 3, because I have the complex version installed, which most people's systems will melt with, and I know this rig can handle it. And it's not even a particularly good system. I think it's just like luck of the hardware. I think certain like NVIDIA hardware is better at rendering this game than others. I have a 1070. It seems to run it really, really well. So we want to leave the recreational, but if I stumble across any interior martial, I'm going to swap them over. And I don't know if I might have already done that. I think I might have taken this. I think this starts out as an interior martial, and I switched it to recreational. I came in here in one episode and just like converted everything to recreational because I was so pissed about the happiness that I just wanted to get it sorted. So one of the things I'm considering, and it would be a pretty big balance change, so that's why I didn't pull the trigger yet, because I need to think about all the potential things, is making it so that outposts just use morale to determine whether or not the plots upgrade, and that would just make it so much easier to upgrade in your outpost without having to worry about managing happiness, which can be a real pain unless you're spamming the crap out of recreational plots, which isn't fun. It's not fun to spam any particular plot type. You want to have a nice open selection. What is this? What is going on here? Oh, I think this, some of this is part of the city plan, and then some of it is from the recreational plot, so it just looks like a big cluster. All right, we're gonna call that good enough for now. Let's go check out some of our other outposts and look for more lazy people. Like Grey Garden's probably got a lot of people slacking. Because I still believe I need to send a couple more people over to Green Top. We still want to take care of this control. And God, I have no idea how many days have passed with me just taking care of the baby, where we might be cutting close to that. We might be inching closer to that 14-day time bomb. Oh man, you guys got moving on the chat, and I fell behind again. Is Conqueror compatible with XDI? I have no idea what XDI is, but there's nothing that Sim Settlements shouldn't be compatible with, because like I rack my brain for forever to find solutions to problems so I don't have to edit anything beyond. I've yet to the worst I've had to do in vanilla edit terms is I've had to mark some objects as persistent just to have a reference in a location, and that doesn't cause any mod conflict. So I haven't had to yet. So if there's any mods that are conflicting with Sim Settlements, it would likely be in the other direction. It would be the mod is conflicting with Sim Settlements because it edited something in Sim Settlements that it shouldn't, as opposed to Sim Settlements not being compatible with it because something it edited. I know there was an exception somebody found the other day, which is there's a mannequins mod that apparently, if you have it installed, it makes the game crash if you have the plot called, what's it called? It's the interior clothing store from Rise of the Commonwealth. I can't remember the name of it. Style Wagon. If you have a Style Wagon and you have this mannequin mod, it crashes your game. It's a weird coincidental bug or conflict. But otherwise, everything should work together. Gather's out there. Yeah, Gather's out there is awesome. That's one of those like dream list features we've had on the list to add to Sim Settlements for a long time. The ability for you to take over stuff outside of the settlements and kind of take it for resources, and that's something we're slowly working toward. Okay, I think we need 2 more guards here. And I've actually started down that path with all the new Conqueror code, as we're kind of laying the foundation for stuff like that. You will absolutely, in the relatively near future, in some of these patches, you're going to be able to start taking over, at least for the Raider quest line. It'll probably be a while before it gets outside of Jammer's quest line, but in Jammer's quest line, we're definitely going to have you start taking over some resources outside of settlements, because that's just too much fun. And it works in so perfectly with the new mechanics where you could take over certain areas to generate wages, rations, and equipment. Like, that just fits too perfectly thematically, and it's just a great potential use for all these random locations out in the Commonwealth. All right, we got all sorts of lazy guys here. Let's get some of them moving. All right, so you are going to go guard duty, Green Top Nursery. Same with you, bud. Guard duty. Oh, I got a double menu there. Close you out. Green Top. Green Top. Close you. And we'll do one more for good measure, just to make sure I don't have to keep coming back again. Warrior, change role, guard, and Green Top.
No rule against tricking them in. They're hurting you.
All right, let's head back to Green Top. Make sure we're in good shape there, and then at least then we're in good shape to where we can't get hostily taken over on our vassals, which would really be a pain in the ass with all of our equipment and rations and everything. Oh wow, I'm way behind. Sorry guys. Have you ever considered a build contest for plots? Yes, but not until we get another tool in place. So there's been a tool we've had I've had in my head forever that I just haven't been able to finish. it uses the layers from Workshop Plus to allow people to generate plot designs in the game and then export them. Once I have that finished, then I'll absolutely do it. But right now, making plots is such a niche thing. Like, it requires a lot of investment of time to learn it. So like, mad props to all the add-on pack authors who powered through my pages and pages of writing. But for most people, I think it's too much. And so I need to get it down to a simpler process before we open it up for a big contest. But yeah, that's something we definitely want to do. I think that would be a lot of fun, especially for all these new plot types. It could be a great way to generate a bunch of new models real fast. Is be like, all right, we just introduced, the prison. We want to see everybody the best prison design, like stuff like that could be really cool. Let's see here. Yeah, Book Found. If it's not on the list, recommend it again, and I'll add it to the list. I don't know how I missed it. Apologies for that. I try and comb through those, but sometimes the comments just get overwhelming, or my week gets crazy. So it is what it is. Punter, why do Sanctuary Hills and Red? Thanks for the donation, by the way. Why do Sanctuary Hills and Red Rocket City plans have scrap left behind when you use their city plans? There are tires and broken houses everywhere. Because we designed all of the Rise of the Commonwealth designs, we wanted them to look scrappy and garbagey. Like, if you walk into Diamond City or Megaton, they are not clean cities, and so we wanted to emulate what Bethesda does with the post-war cities. We wanted them to look super scrappy. So that was intentional design decision, and it will likely continue if we do more city plans in any of our official releases from the Sim Settlements team. I love sticking. I think it's important that we stick to the aesthetic Bethesda setup for the stuff that's included with the mod, because the mod is kind of a framework, and if we start making a whole lot of design decisions that are way different, then we basically, anybody who cares about immersion is suddenly going to be turned off by our whole mod. And then that makes it so that less likely that people who want to build add-on packs for it will want to do so if they, like, for example, if we started adding in like sex mod stuff directly into Sim Settlements, like, that would turn off a huge swath of our audience, and that wouldn't be fair to add-on pack authors. So, like, there's certain things where we just try and stick to the foundation that Bethesda laid, and one of them is to make sure our cities are nice and scrappy. Okay, so we've got all of our control fixed in our vassals, and it's just naturally fixed in your outposts unless you convert everybody over to workers, in which case it would be really bad. So now we're going to go into our outposts and start building some production stuff, because we need to fill our meters. So, and I've got like places where these guys are just not doing anything. Like Green Top is just useless right now. Red Ace Killa. Yeah, the special units are broken right now. We've got a lot of information on that. I'll have it. I will 100% have that fixed for patch 4.11, which will be going out next Friday. Not tomorrow, but next Friday. Okay. All right. So basically, the way I look at this, I have Starlight overloaded. So my only place my warriors are really going to be coming from is in Starlight. So then all these other guys, they don't really need to be, I don't need all these specialty plots. So I just want a couple to make sure that I actually have guards here, so this place doesn't get hostily taken over. But mostly we can just fill this place up with production plots. So I think I'm just going to tear down all this vanilla stuff, and I'm just going to build in some of the plots we need. Oh, are you kidding me? I don't have a scrap mod installed, so I can't scrap anything in here. Let me try insert. So sometimes place everywhere can scrap. Oh yeah, no, this place is a train wreck to build in. No wonder this was one of those ones where when we were designing it for Rise of the Commonwealth, I'm trying to remember who got assigned to this one. I think it was Tank Thing was like so bummed by this greenhouse because our rule when we were designing Rise of the Commonwealth is you could only scrap vanilla scrappable things. And so this place, oh man, there's like nothing you can scrap in here. So like this is all unusable space. We couldn't actually build plots in here nicely, because I don't think, it might be that if we disable some of this stuff. Let's try. Let's see. Click on this. Yeah, no, you can't disable any of this. Oh, what a bummer. Okay, well, we'll make do. So we'll build some 2x2s out here. Daniel, honestly, I've never used Workshop Rearranged. Could somebody describe to me what it does, and I will tell you whether or not it's something that could be added to Workshop Framework. I have no idea what Workshop. I've always assumed Workshop Rearranged was just taking all the build menus and changing them around. And then in that case, Workshop Framework could probably do something. I've been in talks with CAD PNQ and I need to talk to him about it further. But we definitely are going to be adding some sort of settlement menu manager type functionality to Workshop Framework, so that it's gonna effectively make settlement menu manager obsolete. The problem is, you know, I hate that I'd be taking away from his mod points, because like he pointed out that like he gets a fair number of those, and like that's his way of funding his gaming, and I don't want to take that away from him. But it doesn't make a lot of sense to not have something like that in Workshop Framework, because Workshop Framework is designed for absolutely that sort of thing, of just centralizing everything settlement related into a single framework, so that way it's easier for other mod authors to put a dependency in without feeling bad about it, because it really sucks to have to add a ton of dependencies to a mod you're building, because then you're all of a sudden demanding players download like 6 or 7 mods as opposed to just 1 or 2. And so the more we can shrink down the mod requirements, the better. Let's see here. Yeah, I guess we'll do a couple more agricultural here. I actually need to tone. I got to be careful about too many agricultural, because then that's going to put real pressure on our defense needs. So I think 3 is probably all I'm going to do, and then I'm going to switch over to commercial industrial, because those won't have as big an impact on our defense needs. And I hate this design. I need to ban these across the building. These cement plots, I think they're from Kevball's home improvement add-on. They're very, very anti-lore friendly, which I'm an immersion whore. That's probably also why, aside from just the fact that we're kind of a framework and I don't want to alienate immersion players. I am an immersion player, so that also probably drives my decision to focus on immersive stuff and keep with that scrappy look everywhere. All right, so that's 6 plots we've got now. So we've got the 3, we've got the recreational, we've got these 2. We'll keep these 2 just because we need defense plots. Whatever they're going to be is fine. I guess you guys all need beds. I guess I could build. That's what I can turn. That's what we're going to do. We're going to turn this into our bunkhouse. So everybody's going to sleep on top of these planters. That'll be a great use for the greenhouse. And you guys can have hoses spraying on you, because you can hear like sprinklers in there and stuff, and that's fine. Do I have a playlist that teaches? There's a playlist that teaches all of the original SS mechanic, like everything prior to Conqueror, or I'm sorry, everything prior to the 4.1.0 patch of Conqueror is all documented in a bunch of playlists on my channel. So go check that out there. It's called Sim Settlements Tutorials Revisited. And then as far as all the new Conqueror mechanics, I will be doing a series of tutorial videos on these, so that to teach you like what the different roles do, and like how to balance your stuff. That I will definitely be doing. Part of the reason I'm doing this stream is so that I can feel it more firsthand. So I obviously felt it firsthand when I was designing it and testing it, but it's way different when you're testing and designing mod features than when you're playing in your own save. So I know the experience now I'm having is way different than what I had during testing. But also I'm just now kind of getting into the flow of things, because I spent the first hour of the stream tending to the Duke. As anybody who's stuck around for the whole time, thank you for those of you who did. I've mostly been dealing with baby issues, so we're just now kind of getting into things. But basically all I did so far was I reassigned a bunch of my warriors into guard duty, so that our control meter, the little fist on the left, is all full everywhere, because I don't want to lose my settlements to attacks. I don't want to lose control of them. So that's the first step. And then the next step is filling all the meters on the right, because if the meters on the right aren't full, you can't recruit anybody new. And so we obviously want to be able to keep growing our army, even though it's pretty massive already. Like we have 69 soldiers left so far, and then that's not even including all of the people that we reassigned to patrol or guard duty. So we have tons of guys. But long term, like we're going to end up with, like once we capture all of the Commonwealth, we'll probably have like 300 guys in our army, which is fun. We got another one of these junky plots. Get out of here. We don't want any concrete foundation nonsense. Wait, do I have my trusty Architect's T-square? So one of the things I noticed about having so many mods, and this is one of those problems where you understand why, a lot of times we complain about things, or we'll go to mod pages and say like, why didn't Bethesda put this in? I think it's because they recognize that at a certain point, there's just so much stuff to do in the game already, and so many things in your inventory that it just gets difficult to remember what you actually have, and then so adding more stuff to it would just make the game busy. Where it takes a few playthroughs before you fully understand it all. I still am constantly forgetting I have stuff from our own mod in here. Like completely forgot about ASAM Vision being the solution to the problem of trying to check which guys weren't assigned. Oh, you guys were typing about workshop rearranged, and I totally missed it. We could say, other than rearrange workshop menu, it adds more build items. For example, support beam, bridge. Uh-oh, defense starlight drive-in. You guys are going to see some combat. Let's see here. What else does workshop rearrange do? Lets you scrap more objects. Yeah, so I don't know that, like, I think that's beyond the scope. So one of the things with workshop framework is it needs to, if it's going to remain a framework that everybody can pair their mods to without fear, it has to 100% maintain all vanilla behavior. If I start going into changing vanilla behavior, then it's no longer a framework mod. This is one of my beefs with mods like AWKCR, is they stretch just a bit beyond framework. Like if your framework mod 100%, there's no reason that every mod couldn't make you a master file and then start basically taking advantage of all the cool features you've enabled. So to me, that's really important with Workshop Framework, and so some of what Workshop Rearrange is doing wouldn't fit that. One thing I think would be possible from code is I think it would be possible in-game to rearrange the workshop menus. I think that should be feasible. It should be feasible to give you a holotape that lets you redesign the way the menus are laid out. It just seems like that would probably be like a crazy amount of work, and it would be easier to just teach everyone how to go change the workshop menus themselves in the creation kit. All right, let's start. We're going to make everybody's sleeping bag on top of these tables. I have no idea how this is going to look animated-wise, but I don't care. You guys are going to come sleep up on these. Sleeping bags for everyone. These are going to be, you guys are going to get great night's sleep up here. You got sprinklers raining down on you. You've got like gaps in your bed. I'm so envious right now. Actually, you know what? These are probably small enough. Yeah, I could actually do one per table, but I'm making it way worse on them. You guys have to stretch your backs across the gap. How much I care about this group of raiders.
Well, well.
All right, like beds 9. Okay, we'll build a couple extra beds so we can send more recruits here. And because like our bed needs, we are at 92 out of 59. So 92 is the actual number of people we have. So we need a crazy amount of beds. I've been slacking so hard on the needs of my outpost, and that's I mean that was like one of the driving forces behind all these new mechanics. We knew we were going to have something like them. We didn't have all the details worked out at launch. We just knew, like, I had a lot of discussions with Metigio, the guy who created Industrial City, about, you know, how we could solve some of these problems. And like one of the biggest ones, or one of the drivers, was playing it myself and seeing how pointless having more than, you know, 20 soldiers or so was. It was just like, what do you do with all this? And so now we've finally got the mechanics to do that. All right, so we got a few extra beds here. We got enough space for 5 more people. And maybe we'll send some folks from some other settlements here. This place is intentionally, it's looking like garbage. I recognize that. I didn't put much thought into where I'm placing things. I just don't have the patience for that right now, and we're just trying to solve a problem. And I'm trying to show you guys how you solve this. So as you can see, some of our meters started going up as we start getting these different plots. And the other thing is, because as long as we get our happiness straightened out here, we will start seeing these plots upgrade, and then they generate more resources. So using your outpost to generate resources is a great thing you should be doing early game. And if you don't have a lot of vassals yet, you're going to want to do that. And if your vassals, like if you're not using the pre-builds, if you're not using the pre-built system from Conqueror, you're almost assuredly going to have to use either they're going to have to use the take control of vassals option, or you're going to have to use your outpost to generate resources. There's just no way around that. So in our case, our happiness is still going down, which let me see why. So our defense is not great. We need more defense to make up for all these new plots. So we're gonna need to power all this stuff up, I think. Let's see here. I'm only using a windmill generator. Let's power everything. Let's see here, so that we can actually, because you also can't upgrade if you don't have power. So we eventually want to upgrade. Let's see here. Sure, we'll wear to this. And we don't need power for all those agricultural plots. All right, well, let's get some more juice here, though, because that's not going to be enough long term. We'll get a nice big noisy one. Get out of here, chicken. All right, so I think, let's see, 1, 2, 3. What is this guy? That's another industrial. 4, 5. Oh, I can see right on my... What am I doing? I'm forgetting about my own meters. See, guys, I don't play enough. We definitely have job spaces remaining. All right, we need more martial plots. We need to get more guys on guard duty to get our defense up. So we're just gonna build. We're just gonna sneak a little tiny guy in right over here. No, don't snap there. Snap there. Perfect. And then we'll wire you up. Let's see here. Punter, thank you again for another donation. I was looking through Conqueror BA2 and found a ton of stuff in it. One thing in the BA2 was called effing post01.nif and looked finished. When will we get this object in game? What will it do? I have no idea. If you want to, I don't even know what that is. It probably is part, usually anything named really crude like that came from Captain Coots. And all of his stuff is already in the mod. It's usually plots and stuff, or it's probably like part of a plot design. I don't know that one offhand though. Okay, so let's see. Our defense. So we're waiting. We need somebody to assign it. Okay, they're building now. Our defense is going to go up by 9 or go to 19. That'll be enough to put our food and water over. So this should, after that martial plot builds, it should be enough to where our happiness is back on the rise, I think. It might be the food's a problem, but we should be tied into the network, to the supply network. Let's check. It could be that maybe we're just like a little too far for the supply network to work. Let's see here. So supply lines. No, we're definitely in the grid. So then it could be a matter of we're not producing enough food across all these islands, which is totally possible because we've got 92 guys, and I have no idea if we have enough agricultural for all that, because that's 92 just of our soldiers. That's not even including all the civilians inside the vassals that need to eat as well. If you're having trouble placing plots, that usually means you have a mod that's breaking pre-combines. So if you have a mod like spring cleaning was one, I think scrap everything probably does it too, but if you have a scrap mod, you also need some sort of like place everywhere, because otherwise, so the way the game works is a lot of the ground is kind of like tectonic plates. Like there's like big swaths of ground and chunks of thing. And when the pre-combines are broken, they ends up leaving gaps in them, and then things that are gigantic like plots will not be able to place across those plate lines, and so you end up having a lot of trouble placing big giant items. I'm so against scrap mods, it's ridiculous, because this engine is terrible for performance of building things. So I tend to just tell everybody not to use scrap mods for that reason, even though they're really cool and they definitely let you get more creative with your building. There's just so many problems with this game engine that they end up being more trouble than they're worth. Now, if you're not using scrap mods and you're still having that problem, I don't know what to tell you, because as you can see, like, I'm waiting for them to go in green. I do have place everywhere, so I don't have to. I could just place everything anywhere I want, but I'm not. I tend to try and place in green just so that that for me is a way to make sure I know the mod's working, so there's nothing busted and broken like that. All right, so we're still short on food, so we're gonna have to fix the food problem long term, but I think we'll worry about it later. I will say outposts are a terrible place to build agricultural, so this was like really dumb of me, but because we don't have a lot of vassals, I didn't really have a lot of choice right now, because I don't want to take any more vassals. But we do need to get back to sanctuary and defend. I also need to get my power armor, or I'm gonna get completely wrecked, and we're gonna do a quick save here because this could go terribly. We'll go live stream hour, I don't know, what are we on, hour 3 now? Like the first hour was baby talk. Hour 2, I did a little, I don't know, we'll just name it that, that's fine. All right, now we gotta figure out where our power armor is before we go defend. Hopefully I actually have enough time to go get my power armor and then get over. I don't know if I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna end up having to go to Starlight and just, oh no, you know what? I forgot. When your main base gets attacked, that was we patched this in a while ago. When your main base gets attacked, you have unlimited time to get back to it. You're not under a 2-day time limit like you are with the other raids. Because of stuff like this, especially for you guys who play survival, like it could get real obnoxious to have to constantly go back. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know, Mike. I don't know why you couldn't, why you're having trouble building plots. It shouldn't be a problem if you're not running a lot of mods. So the Sanctuary have a settlement built in Conquest version. So Conqueror has almost no city plans in it. Most of the city plans you're going to get are going to come from Rise of the Commonwealth or from the contest entries mod, where we combine all the different city plan contest entries into packs of plans. Those are your best 2 places to get city plans. Conqueror only has 1 city plan in it for Nuka World, and that was because it fit in nicely with the Raider theme. So that was the only reason we threw it in there. All right, let's get back to Starlight and defend it. I don't have to do this, but I was planning on going back there anyway because I want to see if I have enough happiness now. Like if because I also want to get Starlight up to. Maybe I shouldn't do this. I was always planning on putting Starlight to level 3, but thinking about how unstable this settlement is, Starlight is such a sham because it's this amazingly giant settlement. And it looks like you should be able to build all sorts of stuff there. It's very open and you can scrap just about everything there. And then it turns out that the build limit is so horribly tiny because the game is just completely unoptimized in that part of the map. And so it's really unstable. Yeah, Matt, I talked about Gatherers Out There. I think Gatherers Out There is a really cool mod, and long term in the life of Sim Settlements, we're going to end up with some sort of feature like that, likely through Conqueror. Conqueror is going to end up inevitably with a system for taking over non-settlement locations and having some of your faction take it over and generate some of those 3 new resource types for you. So like one of the examples we've come up with, we've had in conversation on the stream I talked about, was the idea of like taking over the cannery and generating rations for maybe it'll like generate rations but has a morale penalty or something. But stuff like that, like there's so many perfectly logical places throughout the map that aren't settlements that would make sense as places for you to take over. All right, we got some combat. All right, everybody knows how we start off combat in this series. Of course, I did it way too soon, and now there's no guys for me to shoot. All right, who do we got attacking us? Gunners. Oh, I think we got an invisible gunner here. Jet spam. Woo, love those head explosions. All right, let's get out the old melee. Oh, head clean off. All right, where are you guys at? Where are you? I can hear you. There you are. I think I chopped his arm off while he's invisible. Oh, that was fantastic. Oh, where are you? Oh, I destroyed his whole body. Oh, you know what? We need. It's too late. Damn it! I didn't build a battlefield scavengers here, so we don't get all this stuff, all the bodies to be auto cleaned up. That's a bummer. And I'm not gonna sit here and loot all these guys. There'll be plenty more. Definitely need a battlefield scavengers here. Oh my god. Oh, is my stream dying again? That's no good. Oh, do I have God mode on? Are you kidding me? I was wondering. I thought I wasn't taking much damage. I was like, wow, I'm getting real good at this combat stuff. Oh, KG cheating on stream. No good. Well, that was unfortunate. I had fun. Hey, we're seeing the kennel upgrade. I think this might be going to level 3. Oh yeah. I think this is level 3. This has got to be level 3. This thing's monstrous. Yeah. All right. So combat over. So let's figure out what we want to do here. So we're at 100% toward level 3. So I have to make the decision. Like what I might end up doing is just for the sake of, because this is one of the few city plans I'm using so far that is from the contest, from one of the contest entries. Oh man, my happiness is so miserable. 41. Get out of here. That's gonna take forever. But my combat was so good because I was in God mode. I got a 5-star rating off of it. You can see I got the 5 arrows on the morale. So Battlefield Scavengers is a new Marshall 2x2 building plan, and if you have it in one of your outposts or vassals, then after an attack there, after you kill everybody, any of the bodies you leave that you didn't loot, your settlement will loot for you and put it all on the workbench after you leave the area. So after the cell unloads, so you don't have to loot all those bodies. But yeah, battlefield scav is something we absolutely need. You absolutely want one of those in your main output, in your main base, because that's where most of the attacks end up going. And so then not having to clean up the bodies is awesome. And not only that, but if you once you get it to level 2 and 3, then it actually generates additional resources beyond what you would find. So like, you know, wherever they're hiding, radio, get out of here. Wherever they're hiding those extra resources, I don't ask questions. All right, so I'm trying to figure out what I want to do here. So we definitely need, we have a lot more resource generation we need to do. So I'm trying to figure out what if I want to give up on the idea. I think I have to give up on the idea level 3. So I might have to make it up to P. Benjamin by, because I think that's whose city plan this is. Let's check that. I don't want to give credit to the wrong person, but I might have to just show off his level 3 settlement. Like I'll just cheat it one day in as part of an episode, and then know that the reason we can't for real is because Starlight sucks as far as stability goes. All right, let's go. Holotapes. Where are you, city manager? Tools. I think tools is where I put this. View city details. There it is. Let's see here. Yeah, by Starlight killing by P. Benjamin. So I don't know that it's realistic to get this place up to level 3 just with how unstable it's been. So if that's the decision I'm gonna make, then I might as well turn these into production plots. We also have just a crazy amount of guys here, so I could start giving them some jobs. But I don't think I'm gonna keep it at this. Let's see how many people we actually have here. It's got 25. 31 beds. I guess we're always going to have a lot of people then if we've got 31 beds. So I guess we'll start by just building some jobs. Let's see how much we can get this buffed up to. So we'll start by building the martial plots I want, because I want all those cool bonuses. So we need some 2x2 marshals. We're not going to build all of them. I'm not going to build a prison yet, because I mentioned a few minutes ago that there's well, it was probably like an hour ago now in the stream. But there are some problems with the captive system, with the AI, or the factions with it, that I gotta fix. And so until that comes, I'm not gonna bother with a prison. But I will build a recruitment center, which once we get all of our needs figured out, we'll be able to. Oh, and actually, since I'm not gonna keep the city plan, I can knock some stuff down. But the recruitment center will boost the number of guys we can recruit each day. So instead of just being 5 a day max, it can go up, and that happens for every outpost. You have one of those, you can increase it by 1. But it starts out as just a chance, and then once you get the plot up to level 3, it's a guaranteed. So if you have, 6 outposts with level 3 recruitment centers in, then you can max recruit 11 guys a day instead of just 5. So that's how you can really like ramp up production of your army. Uh-oh. You getting attacked again? No, that was a fake attack. All right, so let's get a battlefield scavengers as well. So we need another martial plot. Where should we stick this? I guess we'll add it to this cluster. We'll build it right on top of my power armor. Why not? It's a very orderly settlement. Not a fan. I'd like a big mess, please. All right, we're going to turn it this way, though, because I think... Whoops. I'm trying to... I don't remember the way this guy is best designed to be faced. I think it's like this. Oh, we need to fix this. There we go. Alright. I hope I can get my power armor out of there. I've never built on top of power armor before. Alright, let's see here. We're going to choose building plan. Actually, Conqueror is meant to replace Nuka World mostly. Conqueror basically takes all of the mechanics for conquering that you get in Nuka World, and then it kind of dials them up to 11, and they're available without Nuka World. So if you just own the base game, you can use these mechanics. How feasible is it to have it move bodies? The problem is that there's an automatic cleanup code that the game has, and the bodies would get eaten by that code before your manufacturing extended could do anything with them. So that's just like, it's just a technical limitation that it can't be that. But by me having the code auto loot them, then it doesn't matter if the bodies get destroyed by the game code. So it's kind of like a technical decision. Because, yeah, I would love to do something like that. Like, it would be really funny to have, like, a cemetery plot where all of the bodies just piled up over time. Like, that could be really, really amusing as a plot design. But it's just the game can't handle it. The game is not designed to have tons of dead bodies everywhere. All right, we're going to change. Speaking of cemetery, I'm going to switch this over to the funeral pyre here. Because that's another one that will add a little bonus to us. And it does not matter. It'll still be a recreational plot. All right, so now let's build. Okay, so we've got our battlefield scavengers building here. That looks like it's facing the right way. Oh, I don't know if I didn't choose recruitment center, did I? Damn it. All right, let's get that going. No, Damien, it only works for the Conqueror raids. I could easily write the code to tie into those other systems. I just haven't. It tends to be that tying in other mods and stuff ends up taking way more time than I want it to. Like because I have to think about all the different ways I could break those other mods. So I don't do a ton of it, but I'm open to it. I'm open to the idea of doing some of that. One of the things we're planning for probably I want to say late this year, but I can't. I mean, it's so hard to tell. But sometime after I get the code for Conqueror in a place where I feel like it's fairly stable, I want to put it up on GitHub for other people to look at, and that way, people could take the time and code up forks and stuff and suggest changes like that of like, here's this branch should integrate mod X, like just so I could have some more outside help, because a lot of the coding falls on my shoulders, and it's I'm one guy, so I end up being a bottleneck for a lot of that stuff. All right, so let's build a few more plots. We actually have quite a lot of room on the job meter there. So I think for the same reason, let's see here. Could I do some agricultural here? Agricultural really underproduce in Outpost, and that was done intentionally to try and discourage it. So they only produce half, so it's really just not worth doing. So I think I'm going to just try and start working on our wages, because commercial are fun. They're really cool looking. So we're going to build some commercial. And get our guys to open up a bunch of random shops. So that's 1, 2, 3. Let's see, do we have anywhere else that I had scrapped anything where I've just got a foundation laying around? No, but here's a good spot. We could slam one in. Yeah, I'm absolutely crazy about this mod. You have no, like, if I figured out how many hours I put into this mod, it would be up there with, if any of you guys have come off of World of Warcraft addictions or EverQuest addictions, it would be like that. Like the moment you read the number, the slash played, and you're just like, oh dear God, what did I do? It would be something like that. But this mod is like kind of where it's become my dump for all of my Fallout ideas. So like all the things I had, whenever I play Bethesda games, I'm constantly keeping a list of like, here are the things I want to change about this game. So when mods start coming out, I know what to look for. I definitely had one for Fallout 4, probably one of the bigger ones I've ever created. And I've been slowly, anything people haven't already put out, I've been just building myself into some settlements. All right. Well, how can we not build any generators? Ridiculous. I need gears. Don't make me cheat on camera again, game. All right. Well, level 1, it's fine. We don't need power for them. I can find some gears later. I'm sure I'm loaded with gears at Sanctuary. We're definitely going to stop over at Sanctuary and see if we crash, because it's been a while since I've been in there and been building. I might have started the episode in there. I really don't remember. It's been so long. So many moons ago. Let's see here. Let's get you guys some stairs for when that builds. Hey, our happiness is on the rise. I don't know how. That seems impossible with what I've been building. All right, let's see here. We got ourselves a little barber shop. Sure, why not? What is this guy gonna be? And why aren't you guys taking over some of these plots? Wait a second. Who are you? Wait, is this? This has got to be from NPC's Travel. Let's find out.
Looking to buy?
Yep. You can tell because they didn't fill out all the dialogue options.
Not right now.
In fact, hey bud, you walked into the wrong camp. Oh, sorry dog. I wish I didn't have to put you down too. Oh, I wasted an opportunity. I should have collared him. Redo. Thanks for the stim pack, bud. Raiders. A daycare recreational plot. Oh man. I mean that would not, it definitely would not happen in the Conqueror like things, but it might have a place in a future expansion to do some baby related stuff. We'll just fill it with screaming Shawns. I'm sure everybody would love that. Wait, what are you guys doing over here? Like Ophelia and the bear have just been chilling over here forever. She's staring at the Miss Nanny. There's probably like a scene happening here that's stuck. I know a lot of people have been reporting that the Miss Nanny scenes get stuck, so it's on my short list of things to address. Okay, so all right, we got our recruitment center now. So we're just trying to make sure all these guys are actually auto assigning and we don't build more jobs than we need. Because I am going to switch over some of these recreational plots. I don't think it's realistic to get this place level 3 and keep my games stable. Just because Starlight sucks, but we can at least take advantage of all these plots and start getting our resources under control. So I'm really just trying to focus on one of them for now. So we're just let's get wages sorted, and then we'll worry about the others later. But one of the things that happens by default is, so you guys saw me earlier changing the roles of some of my guys. I was assigning them over to guards and stuff. By default, the settings are set up so that when a guy assigns to a commercial, industrial, or agricultural plot, they're automatically converted to a worker, which increases their production. And you don't actually have to go do that assignment manually, but you can turn off that auto role change. And then you can end up with warriors working at some of those plots. So if if in the early game, if you don't have a lot of warriors and you want to run attacks and you want them to also be assigned to working, you can turn off that auto change roles option. I think it's just too useful because I don't want to have to micromanage all my guys. So if you look at my counter down there by Starlight, the number 14, I think it started out at 18 when we got here. It's because each of the guys that goes and opens up a commercial store gets converted to a worker instead of a warrior. I might be wrong. The number, it might have went from 16 to 14. Because only 2 of these commercial plots have finished building so far. We could definitely still build at least one more, maybe more than that. Let's see here. Let's get rid of some of these cars. This will actually probably help with stability too, because I'm getting rid of some pretty high poly items. And we don't actually need you. All right. Oh, we can do one more still. All right. Brahmin marker. Oh, we like having a Brahmin run around here. We might kill it and eat it later, but hey, Brahmin. We weren't just talking about you. Don't worry. Just kidding. All right, right in the middle of Brahmin territory, we can have another shop. All right, so now our job meter is definitely full. It's so nice and refreshing to be able to tell if the meter's full, because in Sanctuary I have so many guys, it's so hard to tell whether or not wait, I said funeral pyre, not kennel. What are you doing? Get out of here with this. Funeral pyre. So funeral pyre is a new cemetery type, and it basically cuts the losses you take from having all your guys die to happiness, because happiness tank. That is why Starlight in this Let's Play has been such a disaster with happiness. Is that every time your guys die when you go on an attack run or from defending, like that's just a massive penalty to happiness. And I apologize, guys, if I'm missing some questions. I'm not a good streamer. I'm just experiencing, dip my toes in the water because I want to get a chance to experience all this gameplay myself, and hopefully answer a few questions for you guys and show you guys how to do this. So you can see my wages meter is we've made big improvements on it. It's slowly creeping up there. Obviously, any of you who have been playing Conqueror for a long time, if you're rolling into the 4.10 patch with an existing save, it's probably pretty brutal. And like, I just want to show you that that's normal, because like it's going to take me a while to get all this squared away. So it's definitely going to be, I think it'll be way more interesting to deal with on a fresh save, just because you'll see it as it goes and you won't have to get into these horrible situations that take forever to get yourself out of. But for any of you who like have started doing this and you're like, you know what, I don't have time for this, you can go into sim settlements, and this is also available in the holotape under Conqueror. And if you disable soldier needs, it basically makes it so that those 3 meters on the right don't affect your recruitment. So that's an option for you if you're getting tired of this. But I personally, I think it just gives me something to do. Like, I don't need it. I have 91 soldiers. Why do I need 91 soldiers? So like, the only reason to need them is if you're gonna manage stuff like this. So otherwise, you need 15. That's because that's the most guys you can take on an attack with you. All right, so we're just waiting for these guys to assign. Let's pop back into workshop mode and just start manually assigning some guys. I also think there's a chance that this 25 is wrong. I think that we don't actually have that many guys available. I think the 25 is incorrectly counting some of these war dogs we have running around. I know it's counting people like there's the number 7 down there. That is the number of what do we call civilians? So that would be, in this case, it would be Maul, Ophelia, Jammer, probably Best Friend, which is Maul's bear. So that's 4 of them. I don't know who the other 3 would be. But let's see if I add those numbers up. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, plus 14, that's 25. Yeah, so 14 is all we can have assigned right now. So we're definitely going to need more guys here if we want to fill out all these commercial plots. Because I have no idea what's going on. Okay, good. The funeral pyre actually built that time. So let's see here. So I guess we'll take some of our rec plots and we'll just tear them down. Let's see. Are you assigned to this one? Yeah. So you're going to go get assigned to a commercial plot instead. We need more wages, buddy. Any day now, you can go ahead and assign. Any moment now. Okay, there it goes. Let's see, and we'll just go ahead and scrap this guy. And I need to fix this power now. Yes. Oh no! We've got too much meat covering up the power connector on the recreational plot. We're gonna have to put that on the bug list. Okay, that one's already connected there, so that's gonna solve our problem indirectly. All right, what else do we want to get rid of? We'll get rid of our toilet. Although that is a really fun design. This screams Tenuvia. Let's see if I'm right. Murmuracne, I was close. That's a really good design, but we don't really need a toilet. Oh wait, is the settler just sitting in there? Because that would be really funny. No, okay. Really good design, but we don't need this money. We don't need all these recreational plots anymore. So bye-bye. All right, we're gonna get rid of you. And we're going to get rid of you, and then we can wire you into our grid over here. There we go. Okay, so now you guys should theoretically auto-assign to those. What's this one? Is this another recreational? That's not one of our plot types? Yeah, okay, we can get rid of this. And we don't need these stairs anymore. Ha! A random leg just fell down. That's fantastic. All right, we got some more shops building up here. Oh, this is nice and scrappy. I like this one. Well, who built this? This design seems perfect for our raider stronghold. Ice cream and repair by Murmurakni. Nice and scrappy. I like it. All right, so one of the things I'm seeing now is we tanked our morale. So there is a bug in the new morale HUD. So those the way it works is there's a meter, and then there's arrows. And until you have the meter full, the arrows are not supposed to be there. Basically, your bonuses only count if you have the meter full. And the way you fill the meter is by having a combination. You have to have a certain level of happiness and a certain ratio of warriors to everybody else. And so, like, we are below that ratio threshold right now. So our warrior number, so we have 7 civilians, 4 workers. That's 11, 12, 13. So we actually have only 12 warriors to 13 non-warriors, which is not what your outposts want to see. So we're going to need to fix that. Basically, I overdid it with, and I need to figure out who these civilians are. So I'm going to have to add some. So this is something I'm going to add. So one of the ways we're going to start doing something I mentioned at the beginning of the stream I wanted to do was to talk about quality of life things that we need to do to improve the mod and make it more fun. So one thing we need is a way to mark the different classes. So like a tracker, like a tracking system. So that you can mark them all and figure out, you know, where are all my warriors, where are all my guards, or in this case, I want to know who the hell are all these civilians that I supposedly have. So I'm going to put that down. So mark roll tool. We definitely need that. Let's see here. Okay, so we just screwed up that. So what we're going to do to fix it is we're going to go take advantage of one of the new mechanics we added. So one of the problems I always had with the way that the vanilla game was handling outposts is that it was limiting your ability to have guys by charisma, just like basic settlements, which I didn't agree with. And so our new system to send settlers by just activating their menu and sending them that way, that system bypasses the charisma checks, so we can send as many people as we want. So we can send a couple people back to Starlight to get our numbers back in order. So we're going to do that. Let's find where we've got... Oh, here we go. Taffington. And actually, before I go to Taffington is another one of those wonderfully unstable settlements in the game. So let's save this guy again. And actually, while we're over in Taffington, we can do some manipulation of plot types and stuff and try and get our meters up a little bit. Oh, like a summon for each of the types. Yeah, that could be useful. Definitely. So it would be mark roll tool and summon. So maybe I need like the equivalent of a town meeting gavel, but for the Conqueror mechanics. So we need like a new tool that's just like manage soldiers as opposed to manage your guys. Or maybe I can just change the way the town meeting gavel works while you're in an outpost. That could do it too. There's a lot of options here. I love keeping the number of tools to a minimum because of that fact of like once you add in sim settlements, all the DLC, all of the like big mods, like any of you were playing with Horizon and AWKCR with all its workbenches, like it can get really overwhelming to just remember where you do different things. So anytime I can like consolidate, I want to do that. Summon tool by roll. I'll put that down. Conqueror it uses a mix of the vanilla raider faces and some custom ones we did. So we use the vanilla raiders, although we broke free from their leveled lists, which means that they probably, I guess we're probably still using their equipment leveled lists though. So like if you're using a raider overhaul mod that overhauls equipment, it would probably still affect our raiders, but it won't. It's no longer using the vanilla leveled list of actual NPCs because we added a bunch of our own, and our own now have a bunch of different. They all have custom voices, and we did a lot of custom faces. It's all a lot of custom stuff. All right, so let's start by sending unassigned people off to Starlight. All right, so this menu right here, when you go here and do change outpost, this does not care about the charisma limit. It just lets you send as many people as you want. So use it with caution because you can definitely overdo it, especially on Xbox. My mod list is always available on my... So if you look at any of my Let's Play series, in the description, there'll be a link right at the top of the description. It's a Google Doc that I update every week. Has all of my mods. It has a link to my load order. So if you want to see the exact order I have them in to get them working on your computer, you can do that too. Starlight. Oh, a radio. I'm almost totally forgot that I was on the warpath against radios. Go away. You're going to demonetize our little tiny bit of monetization. All right, let's see. You, do you need to be transferred? No, you're already on your way. How about you, bud? Yeah, you need to be changed. Let's see. Could you list all the settlements you consider unstable? I would say the two biggest are, or the three biggest, let's say. Let me look at the map, because I haven't explored much on this character yet. I actually haven't explored a fair enough. I would say the four worst, let's go top 5 worst offenders. We'll do it that way. Number 1 is Starlight, no question. Number 2 is Tappington. Number 3 is the Castle. Number 4 is probably Hangman's Alley. Number 5, let me think of another one that's bad. I guess number 5 is kind of a combo. It's the Triangle of Death, which I'm sure many of you who have been on the forums for a long time know about. If you try and build 2 out of these 3 at the same time, you're going to have a bad time on most systems. Sanctuary, Abernathy, and Red Rocket all can be loaded at the same time. And so if you build up 2 of those to high-level cities or settlement designs, your computer's going to have a bad time. Yeah, so, sorry guys, I'm trying to keep up with questions. I'm just it's not something I'm accustomed to, and I'm trying to also make up for all the lost time because we lost that first hour to daddy duty. So I want to get our mission accomplished. I don't know that we're going to get all 3 of our meters up, because I think likely in order to solve this fully, I'm going to have to go capture some more vassals, but I do want to solve at least one of them so you guys can see that it's possible to do. Because I know that's probably the number 1 concern I've been seeing on the forums is like people think it's impossible to do in their existing saves, and it's just a matter of just juggling some things around, changing out plots. Let's see, Naf give you those resources. No, I think he was just asking in the general like idea of like, would that be a useful mod to release? Because one of the things I've been talking to a lot of those other big mod authors about is, you know, how enjoyable it is from the community side to see them breaking up their content into packs and releasing chunks of it outside, because that does 2 things. First of all, it lets Xbox users get a chance to play with some of the content they're developing. Like, it was really awesome that Fallout Miami team just released the quad shotgun on Xbox. Like, that's completely awesome, and there's no way those mods are going to make it to Xbox, those big quest mods, because, well, first of all of them require F4SE, so that just throws it right out the window. But also, there are probably so many assets and stuff that each of them is probably going to be more than 2 gigs, so it's unlikely any of you guys would be able to load them on Xbox anyway. So getting to be able at least to have a little bit of the work they've done is awesome. And I think he brought it up in that sense of like, hey, speaking of breaking up our mod into chunks, would this be useful? We've got all these cool assets. And I said definitely, because I think, like, I know a lot of you guys would love an Enclave building pack, like a Enclave... let's see, like add-on pack, like a bunch of buildings themed at, especially now that we got all these Conqueror mechanics. I am shocked nobody has made a full-fledged started working on. Well, I know there's somebody who's been working on it. I just don't know how long it's going to take them to get it. Oops, I didn't mean to change building plan to get it going. But an Enclave like faction pack would be amazing. An Enclave add-on pack with building plans would be amazing, or just one that does all of the above. My war against the radio is, and I scrolled back up on chat. You guys are probably way ahead of me now, but my war against the radio is because of demonetization. We don't make a ton of money on the YouTube channel, but it's just, you know, that little bit, every little bit helps, because there's so many of us putting in so much time, and we end up having to buy a lot of software and pay for server stuff to keep the community up and running, and to build some of the stuff we want for the mod. That just like having little bits of cash flow come in is really helpful. Okay, I forgot what I was doing this. Customize plot. Let's change this plot type. We don't need these Imperial Marshals. We'll just keep on our mission. Let's get the... Did I already do it? Commercial, there it goes. Let's get those commercial plots flowing in. What else can we change out here? Our defenses are really good here. We actually might be able to just destroy. So this is something I can't do in the Vassals because I don't have control of them. And I mentioned this earlier. I was going to show you guys another way you could, if you didn't use city plans. So for example, I didn't use a city plan for all of my cities. I used the randomization feature to let some of them be city plans. What you might want to do is turn on vassal control, because that will let you go actually build in the vassals you take over, and then you could build a bunch of plots to help with your needs. So that might be another way I could solve this, is temporarily turn on vassal control, go take Abernathy, build up a bunch of plots so that it becomes like a normal functioning member of my society, and then turn it off again. Like, that might be something I do. But that's something that would take so long, I would just do it all off camera. I don't want you guys to have to wait for that. Or I might even, I don't know if I should check if I can do this. I can't remember. Yeah, I could turn on control, build a city planner's desk, and just assign a city plan there, and just do it that way. That would probably be what I would do. Because normally you can, well, you're supposed to be able to. I think somebody reported a bug that it doesn't actually work, but I wasn't able to replicate it. If the settlement that's a vassal has a city plan, or has a city planner's desk already, you should be able to change the city plan without having to go to control vassal settlements. But that's where you'd go. I keep passing over it. Control vassal settlements. You'd come in here under the Conqueror section, and you could take control of them. All right, let's see here. So beds 15. So we still have too many people here. I could have sworn I sent. Where are you? Are you in the right spot? Let's see. Warrior, you're going to Starlight. Okay.
Shut down. Signal received. Unit returning to charge 5.
This won't take long. No one said you could die.
All right, where are you? You're at Tappington already. Okay.
Whoa, was that a...
All right, we might have to turn on. Let's turn on ASAM vision switch. Let's get to find homeless. There's a couple of guys. We have too many guys here. We've got, and I didn't hit that enough. Come on. We've got too many guys here because we're short on beds, and that shouldn't be the case for these city plan run places. All right, where are our homeless folks? And this is one of the things that I believe that ASAM maintenance software does, and so I probably should kick it on, has the ability to actually put, I might be wrong about this, somebody else might know, but I think it allows you to put quest markers on the people, because one of the things, like the vision is nice sometimes, and other times it's not useful because you don't actually know where is all this fighting happening. You don't actually know where the guys are. Like, even though they're highlighted, when you see them, you first have to be able to see them. So I think we'll do a town meeting as well. Let's see. Let's try and find all these guys. So aid, town meeting. Yeah, we'll just pass it. And we're going to go gather round.
Shutting down. Unit all.
Killing beats stealing any day.
All right, here we go. We got a couple of slackers. They don't have anywhere to live, so you guys are going to go to Starlight. Which is, again, really dumb of me. Like, I keep talking about how unstable Starlight is, and then I'm sending more people there. But we'll figure it out. There's a chance that in a future episode, I end up moving to a new, like, super stable outpost. I might go it's going to depend on where I end up finding throughout my episodes, and then because I'm just kind of naturally playing it and trying to find everywhere. But eventually, if we find somewhere, a settlement that I know is super stable, I might turn that into my new HQ. Move. Man, a lot of you guys have got some crazy headgear on. I think that stuff is from Evading Signals mod, the West Tech, but I'm not sure. I didn't know that stuff was in the leveled lists, or at least not in the Raider leveled list anyway. Change outpost. Off to Starlight you go. Alright, let's close here. Let's pop into workshop mode. There we go. 15 people, 15 beds. Happiness on the rise. We're in good shape here. We got plenty of food. A little shy on water. So actually, I can't build anything else, though. I'm already at max. I don't want to turn up the build limit. So we could build some water, just that little bit, to push this place over the edge. I think I kind of want to do that, but I'm sure this place ends up with more water at the next level. But this is another one of those ones where we can see the level up. And again, unfortunate that this is one of my top 5 unstable settlements. Hey, Bulky, thank you for the donation. Really appreciate it. Hey, man, thanks for everything you and your team do with Sim Settlement. Side note, your volume is okay, but a tad on the low side. I'd rather have to turn it down than miss something. Thanks again. Yeah, you know what? That's actually something that's been a constant problem, and I don't know why. So all of my... Let me check my mic settings. It might be OBS that's doing this, because all of my podcasts, I always have to turn up my volume. Like, in post, we always have to edit my volume, and our guests are always fine, which is why occasionally when you guys have heard. Oh no! See, I have a 6 decibel amp on my mic already, so I don't know why it's so quiet. I guess I can turn it up a little bit more, but yeah, there was like last week's episode with Naf Naf. I accidentally uploaded it without increasing my volume, so Naf Naf was super loud and I was really quiet. But let me I'll up my amp to 10 dB, and we'll see if that is any better. It also could just be that I'm like turning my head to the side to look at all of the chat, and I might just be looking wrong. Let's see. Any plans to in the future to shove people be the Vault settlement? Yeah, I might take over the Vault. I'd have to do that DLC, but settlement comes to mind as super stable, and Sanctuary. Sanctuary is insanely stable. Insanely stable. Is did I make my voice too loud now? Is it no good? Like, am I blowing out people's ears? I can change it back again. Yeah, I think the Red Rocket, Abernathy, and Sanctuary are all totally stable as long as that's the only one of those three you build. If you build two or three of them, you're going to have a bad time. But I think building, like, Sanctuary is my favorite. That's why I built my mega settlement there, is because I know it can handle a lot. Like, it's got a huge build limit. It was very well optimized because Bethesda knew it would be the first one that people go to. So yeah. Yeah, I know their Vault has a lot of problems. We had a lot of issues with it when we were designing the city plan, where there's like the infinite mirror bug that can occur. So yeah, I'm aware there's a lot of weird quirks with that. Okay, so now I'm gonna leave my volume unless you guys are, unless I'm hurting somebody's ears. I'm gonna keep it as it is for now. All right, I'm gonna knock down. I think I'm gonna knock down one of these Marshall plots. I don't think I need this many. And that'll give me one more commercial plot I can build. Ooh, I don't want to build that thing. All right. Uh-oh. What is going on here? Why, there it goes. So why didn't that clean up? Let's see. Where are we going to build this? I guess we can build it right off this dock here. One of the things that's really interesting with all the Rise of the Commonwealth plans is nothing more can be built. Oh, are you kidding me? All right. I'm going to have to build up the build limit. And I guess I can fix the water while I do that. So one of the things that's just interesting with the plans, the city plans from Rise of the Commonwealth, is when we released them, most of them had support for 20 settlers. And then when we found out that it was just decimating Xbox players, we re-released all the city plans. Oh, and there was another reason. It was that, and we learned about the script data limit, which if any of you wants to know what the script data limit is, I'm sure somebody in chat can describe it for you, because it's a pretty long tale of how that came to be. But all of these city plans originally had way more plots in them, so we just cleaned out a bunch of stuff. So it ended up means that most of the Rise of the Commonwealth have plenty of room in them now for 4 or 5 plots. If you just dig around, you can find spots for them, which we will take advantage of. All right, so we can go to Tools, Configuration Tools. This is one I think we need to I really need to clean up this Tools menu. This Tools menu needs like a redo. But there's a tool in here to up your build limit, and I don't think most people even know about this. And I don't think I was inside the boundary, and so it gave me a bug. Oh, let's double check. Yeah, okay, we weren't close enough to the center. Where did you go? Holotapes, City Manager. Oh, come on. This is one of those points where using a controller drives me mad, is in the Pip-Boy. It's really, really obnoxious to sometimes. Well, I know it might be just that the controllers I have really bad D-pads, but I tend to often hit the button to go off to the one side or the other. Tools, configuration tools, build limit increase max. Here we go. Yes, I understand the risks. Usage plus 25. Okay, there we go. Now we can build. All right, and I think I have this set up to build foundations automatically, so one should appear there. Hey, perfect. And we're going to need some power for this guy. Oh, more gears. We have no gears. All All right, we'll have to come. I'm gonna have to like write myself a note to come back here. Probably won't remember, and this is just gonna be stuck at level 1 forever. How do we have enough stuff to build this thing, but we can't build a basic? We can build all of these advanced pumps, but we can't build the most basic hand pump because of gears. Figures, ridiculous. Let's see. This is thing. Oh wow, this thing's got an industrial purifier. All right, I guess we won't be solving our water problem. That's really strange, though. I don't know why. If we have an industrial purifier, like a water at 11 makes sense if you have a lot of agricultural, but this place doesn't. So there must be something wonky going on here. Oh, well. We'll have to fix that another time. All right, what's going on here? Did this thing change over? Yes, it did. What is this guy? This is industrial. That we're fine with. Another, let's see, 40 defense. We need 16, 27. So we could sacrifice this plot as well. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. We'll put another commercial plot on the dock over here. Get our wages up a little bit higher. Snapped it in there. Yeah, we'll get this thing out of here. And we'll just wire these up together for once I remember, hopefully, to fix the power situation. All right, so I think that's the best we're going to do here. Oh, and I just knocked Happy just down, so... Oh, well, we... oh, because that really hit defense hard. So I think this, the martial plot I destroyed must have accidentally been creating excess defense, which is not shocking. One of the things that I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen is that the meters seem to be unstable, even in the default sim settlements, and that's just one of those quirks with the way the workshop system works. And it's one of those ones I'm like constantly trying to code new ways to deal with, and I've slowly made improvements with Workshop Framework, but I don't know that we'll ever get to perfection. The other thing is that some of the ways that Sim Settlements does stuff is suboptimal, but fixing it is going to require me to basically recode the whole mod, which is something I've been working on for a long time, actually. I just don't know. I have no idea when that's going to be released, because recoding Sim Settlements from scratch is not a small task at all. Okay, and so now we've screwed up our control here. Man, I'm just making things worse everywhere. All right, so how are we going to resolve that? I think I'm going to have to... We're going to have to get rid of another one of these plots. We're going to have to bring that. We need that martial plot back. Damn it. All right. Okay, build you. Actually, you know what we can do? We can send this guy back before he makes it to Starlight. Hey, bud, come here. Wait, change outpost. You're going back to Tappington. And we're going to make you a guard. Oh, I could have done that all in one move. There we go. All right, so now that fixes our control, and he should get assigned to that martial plot. Perfect. All right, what are you guys doing? You look real lazy. All right, well, I'm going to assume the auto sign will happen in the background. All right, let's move on to our next one. So we sent a couple of guys back to Starlight. Let's go back over there, and we will... oh, 31 guys now. May have overdone it, but at least we can get them all working on stuff. Sometimes I don't know how you guys on Xbox play with mods at all, just because of the load screens in this game being so brutal. Like, I'm playing on an SSD, and the load screens are this long just because of all the mods I've installed. It seems to be that's the case. I don't know if that's actually the case, but when I first start a fresh game, like just vanilla or just with some settlements and testing, it's so snappy and fast on the load screen, and then just have a handful of mods, and it seems to get like this. Hey, there we go. A lot of jobless folks. All right, let's fix our daylight thing again. So I know I've been on a tear for the better part of a year against scrap everything. But somebody posted earlier they thought that scrap everything, its latest version, has like corrected a lot of the pre-combine issues and stuff. I don't know. I haven't tried it again because I don't mind. I actually enjoy working around the limitation. Like there's certain settlements that are practically unusable without a scrap mod. Like Great Garden is pretty hard to use, but it's but it definitely forces you into creative building, because then you have to really think outside the box to make something useful out of them. More dynamic decorations like the flags, maybe posters or signs, things like that. Can you describe further what you mean? Because like the dynamic decoration system, one of the limitations of it is there's no built-in method with Papyrus to detect walls. So the closest we can do to approximate where a wall is we fire a fake projectile. So like we'd fire an invisible gun, and if it hits something, we pretend that that's a wall, but that's not accurate at all. It could be that the ground slopes up and it's the ground. So there's no good way to do wall decorations. That's one of the limitations. One of the reasons we did kind of the totems with the raiders for the decorations is it doesn't matter where they're placed. Like obviously, you guys sometimes get the ones that are floating, and that sucks, but it is what it is. But when it works pretty well, and they look reasonable because the raider totems don't have to be in any particular location. Okay, so now, all right, now we need, so I got to remember that the job meter is not particularly accurate because we've got all these civilians. So we need to rely on ASAM vision here to decide what we should be doing. So let's look around. I had seen a couple of yellow guys, but that might have been temporary. It might have been that they all got, because I see there's all sorts of commercial plots now here, so I'm thinking most of them got assigned. But let's do a quick sweep through again. Oh, and you know what? I gotta remember I can't be in workshop mode to see the shader. One of the problems with the way Workshop Plus does its thing is it dispels things like ASAM vision. So, all right, so we got one person. You need a job, so let's put you to work somewhere. Let's see. Looks like all of our new commercial built, so I guess we're at the point of let's swap some plots, because I don't think I need more, but we'll find out. We'll swap a couple of these, and then we'll make the decision. Change plot type, commercial. Hey, Mall. All right, and I guess I want to keep the kennel, so I guess we'll build another commercial right here and see if there's enough people to run it. Uh-oh. Oh, had a little FPS flicker there. Thought we were in crash territory. All right, let's look for yellow guys. Nope, you've got an assignment. Okay, I think it was just that one person, so she's going to work now, so we should be all squared away here. Looks like power is down, though, so let's highlight unpowered and see if we can figure out if I screwed up plot. Oh, there's another guy yellow. All right, good. You should go to work on that new commercial plot. And now we need to find out what the heck did I leave unpowered. And unpowered is actually one of the vision modes that does still work in workshop mode, so we can come up here and take a peek. Oh, all of you guys. Oh, this is what we knew about. We knew this was all unpowered because I'm lacking gears, so I can't build any more generators. Okay, so we're good there. So looks like control is barely in order. Morale is not great, but I'm okay with that for now. The morale, definitely having your morale up will increase production, so we're definitely going to want to get that little last bit of morale, but I'll solve that. We'll solve that later. Let's what can we do right now? I guess we'll just send back one more warrior from here, and that'll put the numbers correct, so that'll max out our morale. So we're going to go to check out our other random outposts here. I think there's like one dude hanging out at Hangman's. We'll go send him back. Yeah, I'm like pushing that. Well, the name of this name of the game with this stave and character is let's see how far we can push the limit on the engine. Like we definitely need to go back to Sanctuary before I sign off for the night, just to show you guys how ridiculous that settlement is. It's got, I think we're closing in on, I think we probably are going to have 52 or 53 by the time I'm done here, because even though I turned off recruitment there last time I was playing around with this, like more people kept getting recruited, so clearly is not listening to my settings for whatever reason. Hey bud, we're gonna go destabilize Starlight. It'll increase the likelihood we move our HQ somewhere else. Alright, let's see, what other outposts do we have? Oberland. Oh, we can go check out all of our limbless guys and see if they fixed themselves. Oh, Chuchu, I just figured out what you mean. You want things similar to the settlement flags, where you can control them all from a single device. Like you can just go to the flag and change it, and it changes them all in bulk. Yeah, I mean, theoretically we could do that with like posters and stuff. It would be a little more challenging because you wouldn't want all of the posters to change to the same thing. You would want something like all to the same, you know, like subtype of thing. But yeah, that could be interesting. I don't know if it might be something that can be really easily adapted from the code I already have for flags. So yeah, that might be something worth pursuing, especially with all this faction stuff. I would love I think I'd be more inclined to do it if we were seeing more people put out Outpost city plans, which that hasn't been something we've seen much of. Like we had it happen a couple times in the city plan contest, but hasn't been a thing that has happened in mass, because I could definitely see value in that if people were pumping out pre-designed outposts. All right, you guys are all a bunch of slackers, so we'll give you guys a few things to do here, because like somebody just pointed out, I should not keep sending people to Starlight after talking about how it's one of the, if not the most unstable settlement. All right, so we got to keep our ratio high. We need we need more warriors than anything else, so we'll just build two. I guess we'll build, I want to keep building the commercial. One of the things with the commercial is I still have all the requirement settings on, so if I do this, I'm going to have to build residential plots for these guys as well, which I guess is fine, but I just got to keep that in mind. So we'll go ahead and build you guys 2 commercial plots, and I guess we'll build a couple of guard posts. We're not going to make this fancy at all. And then what else do we want to build? And then I guess we'll build some recreational. We'll do some... Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go do a little bit of manual building here. Get this stuff out of here. We're going to build ourselves a real quick and dirty structure we can throw some interior plots in. One of the things that's been on my to-do list forever, I don't know if it'll happen, but I would love to see some structures similar to these giant foundations where it's just a structure designed to hold a bunch of interior plots. I think that could be really cool. Matthew, thank you for the donation. This is my vote to add baby Easter eggs to plots. I gotta go, keeping you. Thank you, Matthew. Appreciate it. Thanks for being part of this, being around on the stream, asking lots of questions. And for the donation, obviously. All right, let's get some walls on this bad boy. Hey, a little level up. We'll take it. We need all the help we can get in that department. Oh, I gotta fix the daylight again. Game hour at 11. Here we go. Oh, and then what's become my new favorite command is FW2B52A, which sets the weather to clear, so I can see what's going on. I guess do we double story this? Probably. The old bunkhouse. Oh, this is miserable. Where's... Oh, it's the floor that I want. I was like, those pieces are terrible. This is what I want. You guys not going to snap for me? Oh, I'm probably using the wrong piece. It's been so long since I've built like this manually. Here we go, shack upper floor. Oh yeah, we're definitely leaving that log as part of the building. That looks awesome. All right, let's plop some interiors in here. All right, we're gonna have to do some trickery here to get the snaps to work. There you go. And we'll plop you out. So whenever you're trying to place interior plots, often you got to do stuff like this. You got to like poke holes in the walls to get the snaps to line up, and then put them back. And you're gonna need a wall on the backside. Although I only need those 2 rec plots, so that's good. Let's see here. Well, that's not ideal, but that'll have to do. Close enough. All right, let's get a couple of rec plots in here now for these guys to have somewhere to live. Residential plots. We need these so that our commercial can build and upgrade. Because I do have the house requirement on. All right, you'll go there. And you'll go there. There's 2 of them. And you guys need some stairs. And maybe I'll give you a front wall. Get this out of here. No, you guys aren't getting a front wall. Sorry. You guys probably aren't even gonna get your structure finished. Going minimalist with this. Roofs. Here we go. So you can still build bad-looking settlements with sim settlements too. It doesn't take much effort. Just build a big box and stuff it full of interior plots. It will look nice and garbagey. Oops. Move over here. Poke a hole here. And then I guess you guys do need a wall. All right, there we go. I guess you guys want some stairs too. You big babies. There we go. Terrible looking, but it'll work. We'll get all you guys beds. You'll be able to build up these commercial plots. You've got yourself some... Whoa, what is this thing? That looks like a CD Raider underbelly house, or a shop if I've ever seen one. And you guys built yourselves a barber shop. That seems sensible. In the tiny settlement full of one-armed raiders. All right, we'll let that fly. All right, you guys will take care of yourselves here. That'll generate a little more resources. All right, we're most of the way done with our wage generation, but I think you guys can see kind of generally the way to go. Obviously, if you made the dumb mistake I did, which is went way overboard on Outpost and have almost no vassals, you're gonna have a bad time with getting those meters fleshed out. So I'll definitely when I get back to episode play, I'll be making a move to take over more vassals. Especially in particular, I'm going to need to grab ones that are already pre-built as city plans.
Sure what's worse.
And I think I'm going to go turn on vassal ownership temporarily. Go into Abernathy and just start it up as a city plan, so that it will have a bunch of plots, and then that'll slowly and Abernathy is loaded with agricultural, so that'll pump up our rations, and then we'll be on our way to getting everything sorted out here. Let's see. Do we have the T-square? Let's get that randomized. We don't need any institute stuff here. That does not work. But guys, I'm gonna be wrapping up in about 15 minutes here. So if any of you guys has any questions or suggestions or stuff you want to talk about with all this new stuff, I'm gonna be paying way more attention to chat than the game for now, because I don't think we have enough stuff in the way I've got my outpost laid out that I can realistically get my wages all the way up. But I think I showed you guys enough to show you like kind of what you would be doing to try and get everything fixed up. It's mostly about converting plots that you don't need to the types that produce, balancing out your warrior and guard counts to make sure that you have, you know, your control meter full everywhere. And then there's more advanced gameplay later once you have all that stuff stabilized, where, you know, you can lure in attacks by letting your control score fall low, so that you can gather a bunch of good resources and boost your morale, because if you do good during combat, you get morale boosts, which actually increases your production. So there's a lot of play in those systems once you get this straightened out. Uncoordinated barbers. Yeah, I mean, eventually I'll probably come back here and tweak all this stuff, but it's for the sake of just demonstrating everything. Oh, I see a vault plan coming in here. That I wasn't super concerned about how this looked for now, because really what I want to use is city plans. Like, city plans are actually what I had wanted for sim settlements initially. Like, when it first was in my head, I just didn't think it was going to be possible. It was just only after, you know, building the mod and updating it for over a year I figured it out. And then at that point, it was like, oh, the plots are actually a nice addition to that. They work well in combination with the city plans. So I'm glad it went the order it did. But I personally want to use city plans as much as possible. I don't really have a ton of patience for detailed building, which is why sim settlements exist in the first place. I was just like, it's fun. I enjoy building occasionally, but most of the time, I just want to play Fallout, but have the settlements like be interesting. What is best in life? Are you asking for Lamentations of Their Women quote? Because I'm terrible at that. I don't know the full Conan quote. All right, we're gonna pop over to Sanctuary, and I can show you guys this mess over here, and hopefully it doesn't crash on my way. Where can I post requests for Beth Mod School videos? Usually, if you just make them in the comments of the existing Beth Mod School videos, I read all those, because it's not a popular series. It's literally just a place for me to dump my knowledge, and for people who are interested in modding, like, we can just chat. So I have plenty of time to read all those comments. Let's see. Yeah, don't forget to visit Sanctuary on my way. Is there a specific setting for limiting the number of plot that can be in a settlement? I only allowing one of a specific plot. No, there's no setting like that. That's something the game or Sim Settlements tries to do that already. If you have a lot of stuff installed, it tries to only place one of each building plan. So it has an anti-duplicate system kind of built in, but it doesn't always work. And if you don't have a lot of add-on packs, it's going to be inevitable that you get duplicates. Sean Black, so one of the ways you can do that is you can take the outpost as a slave thing, and then you can dismantle your outpost from the desk, and then you won't control it anymore. And then theoretically, as long as you left a beacon there, a recruitment beacon, it should keep recruiting more settlers. And now I'm not positive. That is the type of gameplay I would like to support. I love the idea of having the settlements continue to grow if you leave them alone for long enough. So like that's the type of thing where I'm just kind of relying on everybody to keep experimenting. And like this is why I always tell people, like, if you if you're a reasonably entertaining person and are putting your stuff up on YouTube, I'm gonna watch it because I want to see how people play with Sim Settlements, and like I can learn stuff like that. Thank you, Fallen. Appreciate it. What do I think is best in life? I mean, to be cliche, like, my kids are amazing. I love being a dad. I did not think I was going to. It was one of those things where I went in nervously because it seemed like such a hard thing, but it's actually like, it's been such a positive thing. Not cliche, I would say, what is best in life is having purpose. Having something that you're just like totally addicted to that drives you every day to do it, like that is most important. Because without that, like you end up in, you know, ruts where you can go through depression, and it makes it difficult to understand why you're at your job, why you're grinding. So I would say having a purpose, having a passion is the most important thing in life. That's best in life. It's having a passion. Is Choo Choo, the workshop framework injection thing is almost certainly going to happen. So what I think long term, what workshop framework is going to end up happening, and it's going to be just one of those ones where it's unfortunate I named it workshop framework, but I think in long term it's going to become like Fallout 4 Ultimate Framework, where it's just kind of got all the frameworks we need built into one to handle all the different important things across different mods. Because what I'm finding is there are so many cool framework mods out there and so few mods that use them. And I think it's just because people are afraid to tie their mods to other people's mods for a couple of reasons. One is if the mod doesn't get updated, like that sucks. Like you could find a bug and then your mod's just tied to this mod that they can't fix. Whereas I think I've got a reputation now where I'm not going anywhere. I have addictively been updating all of my mods for literally years. So I think people will be comfortable tying to my mods. And also by having all of that functionality in one centralized mod, then you only have to put one requirement, and it's a safe requirement that it doesn't require DLC or F4SE, and that's something I'm going to continue to do forever. I'm never going to break free of that requirement on Workshop Framework. I'm never going to relent on that. I could see myself at some distant future, you know, relenting on not modding for F4SE, but all my framework mods like Sim Settlements and Workshop Framework are always going to be Xbox supporting. So yeah, something like Injection Manager will probably end up in there. If you dismantle, does it tear it down? You have the option. You don't have to tear it down, but you can. There's tools to force plot upgrades available for creators, so people who are doing the add-on packs, or we have testing commands. But upgrading is the one thing where I kind of like I hold my ground on. So everything in Sim Settlements, like aside from upgrading, literally everything in Sim Settlements can be turned off. But the timers on upgrade are the one thing I don't, and that's just because that's the only reward you get for engaging with Sim Settlements is that you get to see upgrades. And so if I give people a tool to just instant upgrade, then they can just get all the reward immediately, and they have no reason to play the mod anymore. It'll just be like satisfy that curiosity and then walk away, which I want to avoid. I want people to actually like dive in and play this stuff, because we like the team like combined, we have literal tens of thousands of hours into this. So like to give people ways to skip it all just really sucks. But yes, there is a mod called Throw Money at Sim Settlements that does just that. And, but I'm not going to officially put anything in the mod like that. Which industrial has the John Cleese lookalike? Here, I'll pop over there and see, because I think I have something I need to do for him anyway. That's the advanced weapons facility. Here's Q. Hey, bud.
Hey there.
Well, I may be unlikable, but at least I know it.
Oh. Big balls on Q. But yeah, that's the advanced weapon facility, which is a pretty deep in the tech tree. That's a tough one to unlock, but that's also one of the better quests I did. All the quests that I added in the Great Big R&D update are so much better than the ones that came before it, just because I knew so much more by then. Like, doing quest content is incredibly difficult. Like, to learn it, it's just like there's so many things that are involved, and so like my first quests, like the hydration research quest, is so sad compared to anything else in the mod that I've added since. But you know, just one step at a time. And that's all, like, any of you guys who are trying to learn to do quest stuff, is just go through the tutorials and do whatever you can based on the tutorials you find. And, you know, eventually you'll start compiling enough info in your head to put together more complicated stuff. But yeah, we're at 51 settlers now. So it looks like I am going to have to build another house plot. I have no... Why didn't it turn off? I was sure I turned off... let me see here. Let's check our settings again, because I was hoping to stop this 50. My plan on this, as soon as we finish up with the manual building I've got planned, I'm gonna do like I'm gonna wall the city in. I'm gonna put some turrets, probably some laser turrets, because we've got all this industrial to show how advanced we are. I'm going to do a bunch of manual building. And then you guys are going to watch me do a regression on camera over a span of episodes. So I'm going to show you how you would approach taking a settlement and turning it into levels 2, 1, and 0. And we're going to do that with this. You guys are going to get to watch me tear this place apart, which will be entertaining. At least for me, it'll be entertaining. I don't know if you guys will find it good. Hopefully Luke makes it entertaining. All right, what were we going to do? We're going to go to assignment. No, not assignment. Recruitment. Recruitment. City plan limit off. Ignore charisma. Off. That's what we need. Oh, I know what I did. I had changed max unemployed. I was thinking that it'll stop recruiting because of we would eventually hit unemployment, but I'm employing everyone. So we have to just turn the charisma limit back on for now. And then that'll stop recruitment. So that one extra person I have might get shot in the head off camera. Sorry. Oh, I missed a couple of texts. Sorry, guys. I was digging in the menu. Got lost. Legendary Raiders. So you actually, once you get your guys up to rank 5, they become legendary. That's one of the goals, is to get your... and that's something I'm going to expand on more, is the level up system. So a couple of things are going to come down the pipe with the ranking system. One is we're going to change the... what's it called? There's a plot we have already. It's like the shooting range. That's going to become a new type of training, a new subtype called training plot or something like that. I don't know. We haven't decided on the name, but basically it'll allow your guys to gain experience while they're assigned to the plot so they can start ranking up without going into combat. And we're also going to give you guys eventually the option to take a small squad of your soldiers with you to go questing, and they'll gain XP while you're out doing it. I have to figure it out yet. I haven't figured out how to make it work, but I'm going to. I'm committed. So that you have more, because I really want that rank up system to be more important. And it's one of another way, a thing we haven't talked about much is that the control score, that you get from having to send guards and stuff to your outposts. The higher the rank of the soldiers, the more control score they provide. So you can end up needing to distribute less of your guys to settlements if they're higher rank. So you can kind of like think of it like you're taking your old vets and retiring them there. So there's a benefit to having a bunch of high rank soldiers. So that's something that'll be coming down the pipe. Xbox and as 3-in-1 won't let me download it. Probably space. You might have to like clear your cache or something because it's a huge mod. Yeah, Steam, I'm going to turn it into City Plan and release it. That's the plan. What I'll have to probably do, though, is release it as, like, this version will be the complex version. And then, like, starting at level 1 will be where I'm going to have to build, like, 5 levels. It'll be like, this is complex level 3. Then I'll build complex level 2. Then I'll build complex level 1, which will be, like, level 3 normal. That's because this place is, like, most computers are not going to be able to handle this place. There's still more radios playing. I gotta remember to kill those off. Oh well, whatever. We're deep in the stream at this point. I've only got a couple more minutes left. Could you add the ranking system to companions? Companions already kind of have it in the sense that they are PC level multiplier. So they basically, every time you level up as a player, they level up automatically. So they don't really need it necessarily, because that's primarily what the ranking system does, is it increases health. It also increases damage slowly, but the primary benefit is health gains. And that's pretty necessary if you're going to take them in on assaults. Companions, maybe I'll look into it in the future. I'm concerned about... The nice thing about the soldier NPCs is they're all spawned on the fly. So if they break, it's not a big deal. You have plenty more. If I break one of your companions through sketchy coding, you're going to be really pissed at me. So... I've been trying not to mess with those too much. The way I did the leaders with companions is it's kind of a trick, and it's not actually touching the companions, so I was able to pull that off without worrying about it. But maybe. Let's see. Trying to vassalize it. Once they were all down, they started standing up. That is... I haven't figured it out. It's some weird thing with timing. So the way the timing works in this is... like Conqueror tells Workshop Framework to start a raid. So like the raid system is all actually part of Workshop Framework. I did that so other mods could use it because I figured there was a great need for custom raids in this game because the vanilla raids suck. And so they're all in Workshop Framework. So Conqueror sends the notice to Workshop Framework. Workshop Framework runs the raid. You finish it. It then tells Conqueror that it finished. And I think sometimes it tells it finished. Conqueror starts doing its thing too soon, and then you end up with like weird faction stuff. So it's just me. I have to figure out the timing in my code and get it working better because it doesn't happen all the time with the turning on you and the vassals. It's just like periodic. I know it also happens a lot if you use a lot of explosives or if your guys do. Like I find my raiders are chucking Molotovs everywhere, and that tends to cause it more often. So I have an idea of how I can fix the explosives problem. But if it's not the explosives problem, it's that other problem, which is going to be a lot harder to fix. Chris, yeah, actually Smart Blue Cat is, so one of the things I'm thinking about doing, I'm asking Smart Blue about is, because I have never played with his mod, like I'm aware of, and I can't even think of the name of it. It's the cat, that amazing cat companion that Gopher is going on about. I thought about asking him and Gopher if they wanted to come on and do like a 3-way podcast because Gopher would be a better person to interview him. And then I could ask, I could just kind of facilitate that, and I could talk about the modding in general and the fact there's a lot of similarities between Skyrim and Fallout modding, but I wouldn't know how to talk to him about his mod specifically. So having somebody like Gopher, who's like a great personality and good voice and who knows his mod well, would be an awesome person to have involved in that. And then I would definitely like to segue into talking to Skyrim modders in the long term because I think they have a lot of stuff we'd love to hear about. Like even if maybe they're not modding the game we're all actively playing, I think most of us do go play Skyrim occasionally, so I think there's a lot of crossover there, and they've gone through the same experiences, but a lot harder. Like, Fallout 4 is easy mode compared to the older game modding. Choo Choo, will you see the expansion next year? I can't answer that. The next expansion is so freaking huge. It's like I told the team the other day, I was like, I'm done trying to put dates on it because all it does is it makes me look like an idiot. So we're gonna just keep going until we have an alpha build, and then we'll worry about a date. And we're not at an alpha build yet. Brad, there's a cat companion. It's Inigo, I think is his name. It's for Skyrim. Really, really cool mod. And the creator of that is often commenting on my videos, so I know he watches my channel. So I think that's what he was talking about, is trying to get some of the Skyrim modders who are still active onto the podcast, which would be cool. I would definitely like to do that. Book found. In the latest update, Conqueror has one conflicting file with some settlements. Yeah, that's expected behavior. I did that because normally to get the MCM files update, I have to upload a whole new version of Sim Settlements or Sim Settlements 3-in-1, and there was nothing in there that I needed to change to get that hotfix out, and so I was just trying to save people some bandwidth, so I just tossed the MCM file in with Conqueror. So you just basically tell Vortex to override the 3-in-1 with the Conqueror version, and then I'll remove it from Conqueror in the 4.1.1 patch, and then it'll go back to using the MCM. Hey, good morning, Luke. We've been talking about you a lot, about how if it weren't for you, my content would be unwatchable, as everyone just learned from my stream. So thank you, Luke, for crushing it on editing. Some Guy 2000. What is Some Guy 2000 done? I don't. The name's not ringing a bell. I've reached out to a lot more modders than you guys might think. There are a handful of them that aren't interested, in the sense that they have told me specifically, like, hey, if it's not voice, like I would do a text interview. Like there are some people who are just nervous, like they don't want to be, they don't want their voice broadcast. There are other people who haven't responded. There are some people who have said yes, but then we just haven't been able to lock anything down. So, but we've got some cool ones coming up. There are a couple more. There are a few more major. So you guys know my last few podcasts, I've been targeting all of the giant mods, like the ones we're really excited about, like Fallout 4 New Vegas, Capital Wasteland, Fallout Miami. I've been talking to a lot of those folks, but there's a couple of other big projects that nobody talks about that are going on that have some pretty good people involved. So I think that they could go the distance, and so I'm going to start talking to those guys too soon too. Robert, yeah, off-screen raids is going to be something that's very important to the future of Conqueror in order to do all the mechanics we want, but it's not there yet. It's like I need to do it in a way that doesn't feel like crap. So in the vanilla system, when you don't go to a raid and you just get a message later that says like your settlement defended itself or failed to defend itself, that sucks. That's not fun. I want to like have a battle report afterward where it's like you lost 3 guys, but you took out 10 of their guys before they retreated. Like I want a battle report, so it's going to take a while to get to that. Oh, cool. I'll have to reach out to some guy then. If he's a big New Vegas modder, then that would definitely be somebody I'd want to talk to. Yeah, I'm really interested in talking to people who have done like big giant things, because they will get it. They will get the addiction that that I am currently experiencing with modding, of like where you just find yourself wanting to go bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's why I've been focusing on, like, I'm not against talking to smaller mod authors at all. I just find that like the people who got hooked and who are really gonna be able to speak my language in that regard are gonna be the people who have gone in and done some of those mega mods. Oh, Darth, well, you're coming in right as I'm winding down. I'm just taking questions now before I log off for the night. How do you do the protector half of Conqueror? So if you're talking about like the Liberator side, the good guy, basically you go download one of the faction packs that seems like a good faction. So Minutemen is a good example. I think Brotherhood you can play as either Liberator or Conqueror. You take one of those, and then you build a Warplanner's desk in any settlement that's not taken over by another faction already. So it's just like one you own yourself. And then when you build that Warplanner's desk, it'll pop up a message and ask if you want to convert it to an outpost. You say yes, and choose that faction, and and then as soon as you build a recruitment beacon, that settlement will start recruiting those NPCs instead of settlers. And you can also then donate resources to the ham radio to increase recruitment, and then you just play Conqueror like normal. So you would, build beds, make sure that you have enough caps wage. So all the new mechanics that we've been talking about in the 4.1.0 patch, which I guess you can't show you the HUD right now because I'm in I can fast travel over there. I'm not doing anything useful. We'll fast travel over to Starlight so you can get the HUD up. But then you basically just start building up your empire, and you'll get those guys instead. Oh, thank you, Daniel. Appreciate it. I might do more live. So the live streams. So what's nice about these is sometimes I go weeks where I don't have time to go to the forums, and so I fall behind on information. The nice thing about doing the live streams is I can get a bunch of information out to you guys and have a little time to do some Q&A, so you guys can let me know about horrible issues or oh man, Cognac, you donated to me a while and I missed it. Totally sorry about that. Thank you. Anyway, so I love doing these. I just don't have a lot of time for them all the time. In order to pump out the content at the rate we do, I have to put in just like every free moment I have into working on the mod, especially because we're trying to make sure we keep all this stuff bug free, because I feel like it's really important we keep some settlements bug free, and I know it's not bug free. There's plenty of bugs, and I'm always adding more bugs, but as best as I can to keep attacking the bugs, because there's so many people who use it as a framework for their mods, like all of the add-on pack authors and stuff. If their stuff is broken because of the Sim Settlements team, like that's real crappy of us to leave. So so then I have to put in a lot of time on bug fixes. We have a whole quest line we're designing still for Conqueror, so there's so much I have to do that finding time to live stream is hard. But I think most likely what it'll be is stuff like this, where occasionally I will replace something. So it'll be like, instead of a podcast this week, I'm gonna just live stream, or instead of Let's Play, I'm gonna live stream. Like that's the way I can work it in. Robert Young, thank you for the donation. Thank you for so much for all your hard work on this, answering my questions. Congrats on dadhood and managing to find time for this while doing it. It can be tough. Yes, it can be. But thank you for the donation. Really, really appreciate it. That's gonna, again, everybody who hasn't heard this before, anybody who joins us on Patreon or donates through these live streams or donates through PayPal, every single penny of that gets rolled back into the mod. We basically just take it and we use it we pay for our web server. We pay for software for people on the team. We pay for stuff you guys haven't seen yet. We're buying some assets and things that we can't get in the community to make our mods better. We basically just roll it all back in because we're all doing this as a passion hobby. Like I said, I think having a passion, one of the most important things in life, if not the most important thing. And so for a lot of us, this is just that. So like we don't need to make money on this. That's not the goal. But any of the money you guys want to throw at it, we're going to reinvest so we can make even cooler mods. Do you know about the mod that ups your CPU affinity on caps FPS? I do not know about that, but I will check it out because, and somebody had, that was actually something I think somebody suggested in my Let's Play. They suggested some optimization mods, and I said I'll get those once our load times get bad, and we are at that point now. Like the load screens are miserable. But anyway, I'm back in Starlight, so I can talk about the thing. So basically, if you focus on all the new mechanics from these new meters with your new Liberator faction, getting back to the question that I'm trying to remember who asked it. Somebody who had just joined the stream. Was it Darth Vat, I think. Anyway, if you just focus on filling up all these new meters with your faction, and you'll keep growing, and then you can, once you've got a good enough size army, then you can start running attacks and taking over more settlements. One of the things with the Liberators is you can always just go take over outposts without attacking them. You don't actually have to run attacks. The attacks are just like a fun little thing to do with the Liberators. Like you would need to do them in the future, because one of the mechanics we're going to add that I really want to see is the ability. So you guys know how we have the pre-built cities. I also want a thing where it's pre-conquered cities. Like I love the idea of you load up your game and you come across a settlement, and it's like everybody's enslaved by raiders and super mutants and stuff, and then you just go on a campaign to free everybody. I think that would be totally fun. Sim settlements can be intimidating because there's a lot going on, but one of my design philosophies is that everything needs to be able to be turned off or automated, and as much as is feasible should be automated from the get-go so that it's fun. So like, all of sim settlements can be played by just filling meters, like everything. All the features that are more advanced than that, they're disabled by default. So things like maintenance costs and things that require you to donate or use up your campaign, all that stuff is optional, and most of it's disabled by default. So like literally, you just keep building things, and if you see the meters go up, you know you did something right, and that's how you can play sim settlements. There's also like an exhaustive tutorial series I've done, which I'm going to link because a couple people have asked about this. There are, I have done dozens of videos teaching all the little ins and outs of sim settlements. So what I always recommend people do is just load up the mod, start playing around with it. You'll see that it's mostly just you're building plots down instead of building manually. And then once you're ready to try and check out some of the deeper stuff, then if you're finding yourself get stuck, go check out these tutorials, and they will teach you a lot. So let me link that in chat. Let's see here. This playlist is right here. And one of the things for for Conqueror is most of the mechanics are actually taught, except for these new mechanics. We're still working on the quest for that. But if you want to learn all the new Conqueror mechanics, if you play through Jammer's quest line, so the big giant quest line that we've been working on in Conqueror, it will slowly teach you all the new stuff about the Conqueror stuff. It doesn't teach you about sim settlements, but in the future, some of our we'll eventually get to a point where we have quest content to teach people some settlements, because we know that that's one of the sticky points for new users now, is that it's so complicated. So we're eventually going to questify that so that you guys anybody who's new can just like go through, play some quests, and they'll understand how some settlements works. But that's a ways off still. All right, guys, I got time for one more. So next question post, and then I'm gonna log off because I can actually see the kid stirring. So he's ready. He's gonna be ready for some more dad duty. I'm probably gonna have my hands covered in crap in a few minutes here. So, what does our team need help with? Oh, that's a good one. We need a couple of things right now. We're going to need a bunch more voice actors soon. So if you know anybody who has got a decent mic setup who's looking to voice act, we could use help in that direction. We actually have an opening for a writer right now. So if any of you is an aspiring writer and you've got, preferably we're at the point where we need people who have written quest mods already, because it's so complicated to write for a game versus just writing casually. So we need another writer right now. We are always open for an animator. That's like our unicorn that we've never been able to lock. We've had a unicorn on the team an animator on the team once. He did one animation for us and then he had to leave. And that's been like such a common tale in the community, is that like a lot of mod teams have had an animator for a little while and then the person bails, because I guess animating for Fallout's kind of difficult. So that we need. And then there's just like general, like I can always use general help. Like one of the, like I've been waiting and praying for an apprentice to teach quest modding to, but I would need somebody who at least knew the CK and knew enough of it and could make basic quests. But I would love to eventually have somebody who could help me with quest implementation, because it's very time consuming. I would say some of the Conqueror patches, like 80% of the time goes into implementing quests because it's so difficult. Whereas if I had somebody that was helping me with that, I could move a lot of that time towards systems design, which is something that is uniquely my responsibility. So we have a lot of help wanted on this, because we're like continually pushing the envelope of what we want to do. So we keep getting to a point where it's like, all right, we did this, what do we do next? And of course it's got to be better than the last thing. Like we're always one-upping what we want to do, and so then it just makes the requirements to build each expansion get more and more, which is why you're seeing bigger and bigger gaps between the expansions. All right, I'll answer the rest of the questions I can see on screen right now too. Is it possible to force the supply line between two settlements without having a provisioner? That would require CK levels. Is it impossible? You can do it through scripting. That's what the mod, what is it called? The one that you guys all know I don't like, logistics, the IDEX logistics station. Oh yeah, somebody already beat me to it. Darthvat, thank you for the donation. Yeah, thank you and your team for all your work. Appreciate it. Let's see, Gary. That's not a question, but we'll call it. Sturgis tutorial quests are satisfied by things you build with Sim Settlements. Yep, that was we definitely, I had to redesign a little bit of Sim Settlements to make sure that happened, because I wanted that to be the case. But I still would like basically the equivalent of Sturgis's quests, but specifically with the verbiage from Sim Settlements, just to make it real clear for new people. All right, guys, I think I'm gonna call it. It's just after midnight for me. I am gonna go do some more family time and then hit the hay. So thank you everybody for joining me on the stream. Thank you especially to those of you who powered through Daddy Daycare for that first hour where almost nothing happened. If any of you happens to catch when the live stream goes up, if you want to throw a timestamp when that is all over for people who come back to watch the replay of this, it will save them a lot of hell of having to listen to babies screaming and being petted. But yeah, thank you guys. And we'll catch you all next time. I will let you know if we're going to do another live stream. I don't know. Again, I don't have any particular plans for one. It's just going to be a one-off here and there. Otherwise, it'll be my normal schedule. News videos and Let's Play, podcasts, all that stuff. All that stuff will be coming next week as scheduled. I actually haven't recorded the podcast for this week yet. I have one scheduled for tomorrow, but every once in a while those get delayed, so may or may not be one this Sunday. I kind of fell behind again with daddy duty, that I lost my backlog of podcasts, but hopefully there'll be one on Sunday. So, all right, guys, catch y'all later.